You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
I feel like these are much better swings.
These are way better swings than we've seen Andy Diaz have down the stretch here. Again, a couple hits yesterday.
Hader works third base side. Places that right foot in front of the left when he sets. The 1-2, swinging the line drive down the left field line, hooking for the corner. Air ball up against the wall. Fielding is in. Torkelson is in. They're waving him home. Torkelson around third. He will score. Albanez ends up on third. It's a 3-run double, and the Tigers take a 5-2 lead in the eighth.
How about that, everybody? How about that? The Detroit Tigers. That would be the final. They're moving on to the next round, the divisional series. Wow, what another exciting day of MLB playoff baseball. We're going to get to it and break it all down for you. Here, welcome to the Pete Sheppard Show. It's October 3rd, Thursday. Let's get it going. Thanks, everybody, for checking us out on the Pete Sheppard Show and the Coastal Sports Network across the video platform. You know, we're here Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 a.m. Follow me on Twitter X at PShep326, on Facebook at SR1029 The Game, SR1029TheGame.com, Ion TV, CSN Florida, Rumble, Spotify, LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, and you can always call or text the show at 727-858-6650. Lots to talk about today. Lots of MLB playoff action. I'm wearing my Tampa Bay Defend the Bay Super Bowl shirt from a few years ago with TB and company against Kansas City Chiefs. Tampa Bay in action tonight. Buccaneers, big NFC South game in Atlanta against the Falcons. We'll get to that. Break that all down. Some good video today, including Rasheed Rice's mom ripping off some sort of a package at some sort of a condo complex somewhere. Doesn't understand that there's cameras everywhere now. Big Brother is always watching, so you don't steal stuff. Interesting video, too, as well. Good morning, folks. Angel, I can't read. I get to get my glasses. Gas Pump Guy says, good morning, fellas. Hope you guys have a great day today. Let's have a positive and enjoyable day, God bless. Well, when we talk about the Jets and Miami Dolphins, now that's impossible. They will not be positive. I try to make it positive. We try to have a lot of fun here as much as we can. But sometimes it's hard with some of the topics. So, yes, I will always try and have fun on the show. So lots coming up today. We've got interesting video on Miami Hurricanes, the equipment truck, heading out. It left Tuesday, heading out to Berkeley, where the Hurricanes will take on the Bears on Saturday night at 10:30 on ESPN. And game day is going to be there. I didn't get to my trivia question yesterday. I'm going to get to it today. Maybe early on in the show, so I don't forget, because we get caught up on all this stuff, and then I always forget. I write stuff down, have all these notes, and then I forget. We get caught into one subject, this or that, or the other. A couple of good guests coming up today. His weekly visit, Trevor Harris from WQAM in Miami will join me at 8:30. We'll talk about the Canes and the Bears coming up, as I said, 10:30 on Saturday night. Also get his thoughts on the Miami Dolphins and what's going on with them. They are in absolute disarray. They are a mess. Got some other NFL preview sound as we get ready to start Week 5 tonight. Believe it or not, as I said, Tampa Bay is at Atlanta. And all the other great games coming up on Sunday. We'll start to preview some of that and a whole lot more. I've also got a great video. Angel's going to love this. Of his rookie cornerback, Kenyon Mitchell, mouthing off to Mike Evans. Mike Evans was mic'd up last week at Ray J against the Eagles. Angel, you're gonna love this. In fact, we should just play that right out of the gate, because this may get you going a little bit. If you could scroll down, it's the third one down on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Mike Evans mic'd up yesterday, and then we'll get to all the MLB playoff action. But let's start the show off with some funny stuff here. I love when NFL sounds and NFL mic'd up players. It's like I could watch this stuff on a continuous loop all day. So here's, in the beginning, watch number 27 for the Eagles. Quinion Mitchell, the rookie out of Toledo, mouthing off to Mike Evans. Here we go.
You easy. You easy.
Huh?
You easy as to get open.
I've been on you all day, cuz. How many catches you got? You got one catch, you got to win. That's it.
All right. You know who I am, right? You know who I am, right? No, I do not. No. I don't. Yeah, that means you got more juice. That means you should have the most juice out here. We 31. I woke up pissed off. You woke up pissed off.
Everybody woke up pissed off.
You see what happens? The most physical team? We're more talented than everybody.
Hey, we could be in
Or
2
just as
minutes
much.
right now.
Everybody stay ready, man. You're toasting. Golly. Vita! Big Vita! Let's go!
For the Bucks.
Monte! Let's do it! Ha. Slide. 2 of them. You turn around. Hey, y'all are stoning these. Keep it up, man.
12 minutes.
Yeah, look at that. It's because of y'all. It's because of you. It's because of y'all.
You still be gaming?
Yeah.
You got to get out there one more time.
I still play, bro. I got you on Fortnite.
Yeah.
Bro, I love that effort over there. That's inspiring, man. Appreciate it. No matter what, you just come to work and play hard as fuck. Thanks, Mike. Love that shit, man. We get a lot of that. We win ball games. They're done. I cannot block number 3, bro. I'm sorry. I cannot block number 3, bro. Please don't. Bro, you're 12, man. Congratulations, bro, on everything.
Man, you
It's an honor. I'm 1 year behind you. We've been playing against each other since college, bro. That's crazy. You the same, dude. This just feels like training camp at this moment right now.
I love you, Mike.
By the way, Mike Evans last week, 94 yards on 8 catches, 11.8 yards average, and a touchdown. So, yeah, he did get the best of Mr. Mitchell, as did the rest of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the year. But I thought we'd start with something kind of funny. Thoughts, Angel? Bring back bad memories from last week.
Not at all. Actually, it's pretty smart on their behalf because you got to figure this the difference when you have a team that's actually vibing, gelling, when they're doing all the things right. They got all the positive vibes. Unless Eagles fans, you guys can get mad at me all you want to. This is what happens when you're loose. When the Eagles in 2017, that's the way they were. When they were just enjoying it, they were having fun. There was no animosity, no finding your identity, none of that stuff. It was so. Listen, I'm all for it. That was a good job there by Mike Evans and crew. Tampa's just looking good, no matter which way you look at it. Tampa's looking.
Yeah, we'll
really
say
good.
they got to keep it up tonight. This is going to be a very important AFC South matchup tonight. They kind of been, let's see if they can make it 2 in a row here. See if they make it 2 in a row. Gaspin Guy says, and that right there is why Mike Evans, bro, he's just so awesome. Yeah. Yep, and I hope they do well tonight. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game tonight.
Yeah.
Still not convinced on the Falcons' defense at all. And let's see. Atlanta, you don't want to lay an egg like they did at home a couple of weeks ago. You got to keep it going on the road. So let's. It should be an interesting game tonight. Pretty good game on Amazon tonight. All right, back to MLB playoff baseball. Detroit beat the Houston Astros 5-2 yesterday. I'm telling you, and I must say, Angel, and I can send you. I'm not bullshitting anybody. The first 2 days of MLB playoffs, I am a perfect 8-0 on my Hard Rock app. 8-0. One of them, 2 of the games were parlays. Both, I had the over yesterday in both the late games. They both barely went over, but yet they went over. And I had the underdogs. I told you, when you're talking MLB playoffs, unless it's Game 7, and go with the underdog every single time in the baseball playoffs. You will come out ahead. And if you did so far, you'd be, with the Royals and the Tigers, that's 4 wins right there. The Padres, I like them as a favorite, so I like the total. And the Mets in Milwaukee, I've just liked the over in both of those games, so I have not bet a side there as well. And they got a big game 3 coming up tonight. I'm sure Jay Flannelly and company and all the Mets fans out there are on pins and needles as they take on a Milwaukee Brewer team. Big come from behind, nice come from behind victory yesterday. But we'll get to all of that. Let's start with the Tigers. Down 2-1 in the top of the 8th, and the Tigers tie the game on this.
Riley Green led the team with 50 RBIs with runners in scoring position. And that one gets away. Here comes Carpenter. He will score, and the game is tied at 2 as Vierling moves to second.
Tim, you see this all the time. Catchers now, the way they're positioned, they don't go down and use two knees to block that ball. He tried backhanding that one there, and understand when you throw an off-speed pitch, it's going to break one way and land another. Just did not get in front of that ball.
But the big hit came later on in the game. I played it for you at the top of the show, but it's worth playing again.
I feel like these are much better swings.
These are way better swings than we've seen Andy Ibanez have down the stretch here. Again, a couple hits yesterday.
Hader works third base side. Places that right foot in front of the left when he sets. The 1-2, swing the line drive down the left field line, hooking for the corner. Air ball up against the wall. Vierling is in. Torkelson is in. They're waving him home. Torkelson around third. He will score. Ibanez ends up on third. It's a 3-run double, and the Tigers take a 5-2 lead in the 8th.
Uh-oh, mama, here come that man again. 77 is back. You put a lefty out there, you're going to get got. Andy Ibanez gets a sinker up, smashes it in the left field corner. All 3 runs score.
Look at that dugout, Bobby.
Those boys are going crazy in that third base dugout. That's what I'm talking about, Andy.
This crowd is in stunned disbelief. Hader gets to 2 strikes, and they're on their feet, thinking the at-bat is going to be over. And Ibanez delivers the strike 1, swing and a miss. Quickly 0-2 on Sweeney. 5-2 Tigers with a 4-run 8th. Incredible.
Thanks to 97.1 The Ticket, and here's how it ended.
A 2-1 deficit. Ground ball softly to second. Keith will charge, field and flip. Tigers win. They're moving on. They pour out of the dugout and mob each other behind the pitcher's mound.
Wow, an unbelievable game. It really was. Skipper A.J. Hinch is probably going to get Manager of the Year. Absolutely. I'd vote for him. No question about it. You had Parker Meadows homered. Detroit ends Houston's run of 7 consecutive appearances in the AL Championship Series. Absolutely unbelievable. The Tigers go on to win the game yesterday, as I said, 5-2, and it's on to Cleveland for them as well. Kansas City will take on the Yankees. First time they've played in a playoff series since 1980. And man, do I remember those days. 76, 77, 78, 1980. They played the Yankees all of those years. 79, it was the California Angels with Freddie Lynn going up 2-0 on the Milwaukee Brewers. And then 79 was Baltimore. Baltimore over California. That was something in that series. They were up 2-0. Baltimore came back and went on to the World Series before losing to the We Are Family Pittsburgh Pirates in 7. They believe the Pirates that year in 79 were the first team to come from 3 games to 1 down in a World Series to win. But the Tigers are moving on 5-2. And excellent. They played great defense. I mean, there were some unbelievable defensive plays in this series as well. You look at the pitching yesterday. The Tigers used a whole bunch of pitchers. 1, 2, 3, 5 guys. 5 pitchers were used yesterday for the Detroit Tigers. Brown pitched okay. The starting pitcher for the Astros, 5 2/3, gave up 2 hits and just 1 earned run. Struck out 9. By the Astros, they're done. There's something special happening with this Detroit Tiger team. It really is. They have really, really come on from the second half of the season. And you think about it. Let me see. I have the stat here that I tweeted out. I thought it was on August 10th. The Detroit Tigers were 55-63. August 10th, and yesterday they knocked the Houston Astros out of the playoffs. That's something else. All right, elsewhere in Major League Baseball playoffs yesterday, as we continue. Kansas City in a thriller over the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles, I told you, can't get out of their own way. And, of course, the go-ahead RBI single in the game. Bobby Witt Jr. in the top of the 6th. Eventually. Bueller. Here we go.
Crowd quiet. A lot of anxiety. Bounding ball up the middle. Backhanded stop by Westberg. Throw to first. Not in time. Bobby Witt Jr. beat it. A great stop by Westberg and a terrific effort to make the play at first base, but he could not. And the Royals lead as Isbell scores from third.
Just a tremendous play to get to a hard hit ball, 109 miles an hour off the plate, but he had the out at second. I'm surprised he did not go there, knowing the speed of Bobby Witt Jr., who beats this out.
Again, thanks to Sean McDonough, Jessica Mendoza over on ESPN or ABC or whatever it was on, same network. Bobby Witt Jr. Beat out the infield single, drove in the go-ahead run, and the Royals move into the AL Division Series, a 2-1 victory over the Baltimore Orioles yesterday at Camden Yards. Absolutely unbelievable game. Bobby Witt Jr. talked about moving on.
This is nice. This is a lot of fun. We deserve this. We're going to enjoy it. Great team win. Keep going. Like I said, we didn't come this far just to come this far. We're doing this for Kansas City because the past years we haven't been where we want to be. And now we're here, so we got to make the most of it. Taking things one game at a time. Trying to get this thing undone so I can get Sal.
And for you to come through with 2 6-inning RBIs, go-ahead RBIs on the biggest stage in baseball, man, how does that make you feel?
That's why this is what you work for. You want to be in these situations right here. And so it's just an honor to be able to do it and get this win.
All right, moving on to probably the most exciting game. Well, actually, the last 2 games were pretty exciting. Milwaukee and the Mets. Milwaukee trailing was down in the series 1-0, but they came up big when they needed to.
Deal 1. Line drive. That's a base hit out into center field. Marte will come in to score. Racing towards third is Taylor, and that's an RBI single for Alvarez, and the Mets have taken the lead. It's 2-1.
Got some big hits, but look, no stride. Just pick the foot up and swing through. A helmet always falls off. That's part of it. And just finding holes, but staying in the big part of the field. And this is something they did in game 1.
Yeah, thanks to ESPN there. You saw that, the go-ahead RBI. That was in the top of the second. But later on in the game, here come the Milwaukee Brewers again. Guess who?
He swings and drives one out towards right center. Taylor back, and it's gone! Mitchell, a 2-run homer, and the Brewers have the lead. It's 5-3, and this place has come unglued.
I mean, big hit, Mitchell. He gets the curveball up, he stays through it as if he was waiting for it. And boy, did he not miss it.
And it put the game over the total, Angel. The run total was 7.5, so that put it at 8. Cha-ching, win for Pete. Yay! Garrett Mitchell delivered that 2-run shot late in the inning to give the Milwaukee Brewers in the 8th. That's after Jackson Chourio tied the game. Unbelievable win by the Milwaukee Brewers, 5-3. They force a Game 3 tonight. And it'll be Jose Quintana going tonight with a 10-10 record, 3.75 ERA. Rookie right-handed pitcher Tobias Myers will go. He's 9-6 with a 3 ERA. He will start for Milwaukee. Jose Quintana. That game is at 7 o'clock on ESPN. So all the Mets fans out there on pins and needles, that is the only playoff game going on. The Padres also, they advance as well. And in that game last night, another exciting game, but Mr. Clutch, he's becoming sort of the new Mr. October a little bit for the San Diego Padres. Oh, I just got to find the cut. Where is it? Oh, man. Hang on. I hope this is it.
On ESPN. That ball hit hard to left field. Higashioka has done it again. The 9-hole hitter turns around a fastball, and the first one hit in the air doesn't come back off Max Fried.
How about Kyle Higashioka? A home run yesterday in his last at-bat. And his first at-bat here hits this one. almost at 100 miles per hour. This ball stays up. He brings the hands beautifully in. And Kyle Higashioka, 30 at-bats against the Atlanta Braves, make that 31 with that one, 4 home runs.
Wow, 4 home runs and 31. But he owns, you could say, the Atlanta Braves are his daddy. Could you not? And how about Michael Harris in the top of the 8th inning for Atlanta? He cut the lead to 5-4 in that one. And that is, I'll play the home run for you. Give Braves
Here is
fans
Harris.
something.
And he puts one in the air, right center field. Merrill going back, and it's gone! Oh, what a big home run for Michael Harris. And it's a 1-run ball game. His 3rd hit of the night to go with a double and a single.
He did not miss it. You see the distance, 414 feet. The sound was loud, deafening, and it's definitely quieted this crowd.
Well, yeah, but you go back to the 2nd inning, and the total in this game, Angel, was only 6.5. So it was amazing. I thought it pretty much I had it in the bag. You heard Higashioka's solo homer. That started a 5-run rally against Max Fried, who was ailing. 2 outs in the 2nd inning, and the Padres held on, beat the Braves 5-4 in Game 2 of the NL wildcard. So they sweep the series. Outstanding stuff. So there you have it. The Game 3 tonight between Milwaukee and the Mets will happen today, and that is the only game today in MLB playoffs, and then the divisional playoffs will start on Saturday, I believe. Trying to punch up the schedule. My laptop is really slow today. Yeah. So coming up on October 5th, which is on Saturday, the Tigers and the Guardians will play Game 1. That's on TBS at 1 o'clock. The Royals-Yankees go on Saturday night on TBS at 6:30. And the Padres and Dodgers will go at it at 8:30 also on Saturday on FS1. The only problem with Major League Baseball is you're going up against college football. That's the only problem. And they will not win that battle. Royals-Yankees might get a little play at 6:38 at night, but most people will be, I'm sure, be tuned in to college football most of the time. Anyway, so pretty exciting stuff there, Angel. Pretty exciting stuff in Major League Baseball playoff action. And I'm not surprised at all about the Padres. The Braves were going on borrowed time. They've been so banged up all year with Chris Sale not being able to go in this series. I just thought they had no chance. I give them a lot of credit for getting to where they are. So then the big series coming up with the Dodgers, and that's going to go 5. I think that's going to be one hell of a series. That should be a lot of fun. Yankees and Royals, you got to love what the Royals are doing, and the Tigers and the Guardians. So, Sean McAdam brought it up the other day. No surprise, really. 3 teams from the American League Central made it in because you got to play the White Sox a whole bunch of times this year. They're one of the worst teams I've ever seen in my life. So, anywho, that's set. We're just waiting now for Game 3 tonight between the Milwaukee Brewers at home against the Mets. And I have not done my full research yet, so I do not know. I'm leaning towards the over in that game. I really am. Let me tell you today that total is 7.5 again. It's been 7.5 for both games, and it's gone over. And I wouldn't be shocked in this one if it stays under, because this is going to be a tight ball game. You hope there's not some stupid errors or unnecessary walks, but other than that, I find that in a deciding game, that usually the under, if it's it's tough when it's 6.5. I really thought the Padres last night at 6.5 would go over. Mets and the Brewers at 7.5. This is probably going to be a pretty good pitching duel because all hands are on deck for both teams. So you're going to get the best. You hope you're going to get the best out of everybody. It should be a pretty low scoring game, but we shall see. 727-858-6650. Falcons and the Bucks will go at it tonight. We will preview that from Atlanta. I don't know about any free hot dogs today. I'm not really sure about it. Let's play the video if we could. It's the first one under the show. We talked about Rasheed Rice's mom. She's stealing a package from a neighbor's porch while wearing a Mama Rice jersey.
Silly stuff that people end up doing. Back. All places TMZ, which is the worst if you're doing something bad.
They never get it wrong.
Yep.
I think I'll just take this. See ya. I mean, come on, man. What a low life. It's so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. In this day and age, it's hard. I mean, it's hard to be a common thief this day and age. You will get caught. There's cameras everywhere. There's cameras in the hallways. There's cameras in the doorbells. There's cameras in the lampposts. There's cameras in the car. There's cameras, on phones.
Yep.
Police all have cameras. It's hard to be a common in a convenience store. You're not getting away with it. I guess if you're in full costume, your face covered, you might have a shot at it. But when you are her, she Rice's mom in a Mama Rice T-shirt, I mean, that's just flat out stupid. It's just dumb. I mean, embarrassing. Really embarrassing.
It is. Although you can wear a full costume saying, I'm not stealing something as you're stealing something. That won't give it away.
All right, lots of NFL preview sound that we're going to get to, some videos as well. Going to take our first break of the day and reset here. Going to come back with some good college football stuff. Going to show you a cool video of the Miami truck. It's really unbelievable when you see this and you see what goes into it. It's not just the Canes. It's everybody else now that has to travel across the country. Wait till you see the effort that goes in to bringing the Canes equipment to Berkeley. I mean, they don't fly the stuff in a cargo plane. You got to get a huge, gigantic, or a couple of moving trucks. Wait till you see this video when we come back from break. And all the shit that has to go into it. It is unbelievable. People forget the amount of work and the amount of money that it takes. Although with the college football money that all these schools get, especially the Power 5 conferences, it ends up being peanuts. But now that you have to travel cross country in the ACC, and certain teams like Miami on Saturday night have to go to Berkeley and play the Cal Bears. Really, really interesting stuff. So we're going to hear from Cam Ward. We're going to hear from Mario Cristobal. We're going to hear from the Cal quarterbacks as well, who also went to the same high school in Florida as Mario Cristobal. He'll tell you why he's playing with a chip on his shoulder, and I totally understand. We have those videos and the moving truck moving on as well. Coming up next hour at 8:30, Trevor Harris will talk more from WQAM about the Canes and the Dolphins. And Bill Burt at 9:30 will preview from the Eagle Tribune. We'll preview a little bit of the Patriots and Miami. David Andrews, Patriots center, out for the year. He suffered that shoulder injury on Sunday against the 49ers. So that really sucks. Their best offensive lineman is done for the year. And we'll see. We'll see if Drake May is going to get any playing time or if he's just going to wait it out again and see and see what happens. Jacoby Brissett cannot get out of his own way. Gibson's probably going to start this week because Rhamondre Stevenson can't hold on to the goddamn football. He's fumbled 4 times this year. So Gibson better get the start. And Stevenson better sit on the bench and get his head out of his tuchus and get back to what I know he can be. All that and more coming up on the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
What's up, Southwest Florida? Jim and the Beef Guy here. Fort Myers, we answered your call. We're pumped to announce the opening of our 2nd location. It's on 41 just north of the Edison Mall. And guys, nothing's changed here. The beef, the sausage, the breaded steak, our Maxwell Polish. Now serving you in 2 locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. And don't forget, if you're having a party, check out our catering menu. Hey guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced Chardonnay.
Phil Castanetti, Sports World in Saugus, Mass. is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. Don't miss the return of the legend, former Bruins goalie Tim Thomas. Tim will be at Sports World on Saturday, October 5th from noon until 2 p.m. Tim will be signing and taking photos. Prices vary, so don't miss this awesome event. Saturday, October 5th at Sports World 184 Broadway in Saugus, Massachusetts. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there.
Ion Tampa Bay is the latest news, weather, and traffic for Pinellas, Pasco, Ellsboro, Hernando, and surrounding communities. Stay connected on X, Facebook, and their website, iontp.com. Ion Tampa Bay keeps you informed on breaking news as it happens. Southwest Florida's newest game in town. Sports Radio 102.9, the game powered by Ion Tampa Bay. We'll be right back.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, class. Let's hear what everyone did this weekend. Jill?
Well, I raised my older sister to a big oak tree. It was at least 100 years old. My mom said I must have set a record or something. And then we went down by a stream and perched up on this huge rock and saw all these little minnows swimming around way below us. And then I rescued my little brother from an evil slug king who was guarding him at the bush fortress. And my sister and I brought him back to our super twig fort for safety. And then we all laid out and told stories until it got dark. And the Big Dipper led us all the way home. Wow. Awesome. Where were you, Jill? Yeah. We went to the forest. It's not that far away. Anyone want to come this weekend?
Ask your parents to take you and your friends to the forest this week and find the fun, adventurous you. It's closer than you think. Check out discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
Listen, when we started this series, everybody said we weren't playoff tested. We just passed the biggest test of the year to date. But there's more coming, okay? You never know. Keep going.
Listen, I'm not sure who, but somebody let the Tigers get hot.
Yeah, Detroit, Motown, celebrate today. Come on. It is Panama crazy. I lost some tune by Van Halen anyway, but that's A.J. Hinch firing up the Tigers in the locker room as they win yesterday. Sweep. They do. A 2-game sweep for them against the Houston Astros, knocking them out. So no ALCS championship for you. Come back 1 year. Welcome back to the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Network. Angel Martinez in the house as well. I am jacked and pumped. Some good stuff happening. We got a lot of baseball. This is a great time of year. The NHL starts next week as well, so we're going to preview that next week. Beforehand, we'll have DeAndre Luan, who covers the Tampa Bay Lightning. She's awesome. My friend Mick Calagio, the Bruins open up in Florida next Tuesday. But let's deal with the task at hand today. Lots going on in college football and the NFL. We're going to get to it all. Angel, great job by you yesterday. You were on 10 different shows.
Yeah. Long day yesterday. Martinez and Company, then the Drive with Q, Beeves World from 6 to 8, and then Talking Hoops to end the night. So, yeah, there was a lot. And a lot of great traffic on the website yesterday, which we do appreciate as well. Yep. Today, no comedy sketches in between, which I didn't have time yesterday to kind of put it together. So it's the normal commercial.
Well, I have mine from here. We can always play the. If you want to do that, I can put some of my comedy stuff. I have got about 20 skits here. You won't see the video, but you can hear the audio. So if you want some of that, I can. It can be arranged, but your stuff, I like it because it's kind of clean.
Yeah, I try to put
kind of dirty, but not all of it. Some of it.
Yeah, I've heard your stuff before, and it was funny because at my former place of employment, before I decided to crash on this thing full time, was, can you turn that down? That's not appropriate. I'm like, it's only me and you. There's nobody else in a freaking building. Are you kidding me? I'm like, all right, whatever.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yes. Oh, I completely forgot about that. You were actually outside your home, so and it wasn't your wife or anybody else. It was a non-radio studio. Let's put it that way. But
yep,
they didn't care for my sense of humor. Tough shit. How's that going for you?
That was freaking great. Are you kidding me? Yeah. So I try to put the clean stuff on because obviously we have, it's not this early in the morning, which, for us, it feels like noontime at this point at 7:37 in the morning, but just stuff, clean stuff there for everybody can enjoy it and have fun with it and stuff. And every once in a while.
And it's funny. And I like comedians that don't need to say, swear every other word to be funny. And the stuff that you played so far is excellent, real good. Mine won't be if we go that route, but we may not go that route. We'll see. All right, the Miami Hurricanes get ready to head out. We'll get to some NFL in a second, but some college football stuff. Miami head coach Mario Cristobal said the team will travel to Berkeley a day early to get ready for Saturday's game against Cal.
Well, it's a later game, so the adjustment would be in the, we got an extra day of rest, which was good for us, playing a Friday game. And then as the week goes on, you push things back an hour and a half, where you end up gaining back or pushing forward 3 hours so that your body feels like you're playing at a normal night game here on the East Coast. But we'll travel out there a day earlier as well. And then, though, again, the trip back doesn't matter, go play your best game and find a way to be 1-0.
Yeah, there you have it, Mario Cristobal, and they will be playing at 10:30 p.m. on Saturday night on ESPN. Meanwhile, I was going to play the video, but it's too far down for Angel, so I'll just play the audio from it. Former Miami head coach Manny Diaz considered taking Fernando Mendoza, wanted to take him. He's a Columbus High School alum like Mario Cristobal, and former head coach Manny Diaz, who's now coaching Duke, as most of you know, considered taking Mendoza as a walk-on because he looked up to Brad Kaya. But Mendoza holds deep respect for the U.
Said you're a ACC guy from South Florida, and so I was going to get you in there without pressuring you in any kind of bulletin board material. How are you looking forward to getting Miami on the schedule too? You said that Cal was your only offer. Is that kind of like a retribution game for you, maybe?
My senior year had football camp, like they used to have back in the the Mandy's football camp or Mario Cristobal football camp, or the Mike Norvell football camp, like the scouting camps. So I went to all those back in the day. FSU one, Miami one. Being a Florida kid, I really loved to go to all those schools.
Yeah.
And so I went to the Miami one, and I remember after the camp, I had a really good camp, good junior season campaign. I kind of went there, and it was the old staff. It's not the staff that's at Miami now, but still, after the camp, I was seeing if there's any interest in this. Like, hey, we might take you as a walk-on, or might consider you as a walk-on, and just even like the fact of them maybe not valuing me as a walk-on. I mean, it lit a fire under me.
Right.
And that night was a sad night. It was kind of realization, like, hey, like, I'm not going to be a Miami football player, but guess what? That wasn't God's path for me.
Right.
And it sure wasn't, and it's worked out tremendously at Cal. And I probably wouldn't have got the opportunity.
God was in Berkeley
at
that
Miami
night.
Or a school like Florida State that I've gotten here at Cal, especially with all support, attention, and just the experience of it. So I really do thank God for everything in that sense. But the one thing I will say is I know in the past there's been a couple photo shoots or something that someone has told me to, like, hey, hold the spear and pretend to break it or put the upside down you. Like, I would never do any of that stuff.
Right.
Like, I respect Florida State although I grew up a UM fan and I was cheering against them.
Yeah.
I grew up especially with, you see all of it. Dalvin Cook, James Blackman, and all those Florida State, like, all those legends, Jameis Winston, and the Miami, in Miami with Brad Kaya, that's someone I used to look up to, too. So, those two teams I have major respect for, and I'll never do. I know people do, like, the peace sign down for USC and California, or break the spear, or upside down you, but that's something that I would never do just because of the respect they have. And although it was a little bit of a recruiting heartbreak, I knew it was a part of the process, and I knew I wasn't a 5-star, 4-star kid.
This kid looks like he's right out of Wall Street. A very nice kid. They've already won at Auburn, so they're a pretty good team. They're not a bad team. They rush the ball very well. We'll break it all down a little bit later on when Travis comes on. But this kid looks like he came right out of Wall Street, clean cut, and South Florida kid who ends up in Berkeley. What a journey that is, Angel. Let me tell you. That's a lot of miles.
What's funny is, two things. One is when we go back to the beginning of the show, that first sounder, it always makes you laugh when people say, like, we didn't get this far to get this far. I'm like, okay, all right, thanks for that one. And then the other thing that cracks you up is obviously, like last night, for example, Detroit and Houston. It's like, well, I guess Jesus wasn't with the Astros. Better luck come next year. Because as much as we talk about it, it's fun to hear it now where people were afraid to say, I like to thank my Lord, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but it's funny to hear now that people are like, well, I guess he wasn't on our side.
No, not there again. Nowhere to be found in Baltimore. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found yesterday, and a few other places. But anyway, Angel, if we could scroll down to, it's a few down. This is under front office sports, and this is what I was talking about. The Miami Hurricanes football equipment truck left 2 days ago to go to face Cal in that conference, 3,104 miles away exactly. Check this out on the video platform. This is unbelievable. When you see, and this is not just the U, it's about everybody. We have to do these cross-country trips now. This is how the equipment gets there. This is unbelievable.
Is this, by the way, before I play the video, is this the first time Miami's gone to Cal?
Yeah, it's the first time they played. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Unbelievable. That is a lot of stuff that you have to go 3,104 miles away. So, again, Cam Ward, be quarterbacking the U once again, enjoying one of the best starts of anybody in college football. He'll attempt to build on a whole bunch of stuff. Miami ranked 8th. They should be higher. They were 7th, and they dropped them at the poll 1 because of the close win against Virginia Tech last week. So far, he's passed with 1,782 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions, though 2 were deflected off his receivers' numbers. Over his first 5 games, Canes 5-0, 1-0 in the ACC. He's passed for at least 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in each of the 5 games. His high yardage output was 404 and 5 touchdown passes in one game and 4 in another. So last season at let me see, where are my stats for last season? Ward passed for 343 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 picks when the Cougars posted a 28-9 win over the Golden Bears, and that was back in 2022. And last season at Berkeley, Ward threw for 354 yards and 3 touchdowns and an interception, but Washington State lost 42-39 in that game. It was very high scoring. Cal is 3-1. They're 0-1 on the year in the ACC. They had a bye last week, so plenty of time. They lead the nation, by the way. Cal does, with 10 interceptions. They lead the nation with 10 picks. Cornerback Noel Williams, remember him. He's tied for the individual lead. He's got 4 interceptions this year. It'll be the first ACC home game for the Golden Bears. They fell in their last overall ACC game, 14-9, in that hideous game at Florida State. That was back in September 21st. Talked about Fernando Mendoza, the South Florida kid who ended up at Cal. He's a Miami native, looking forward to the matchup with the Hurricanes. He turned 21 on Tuesday, 21 years old on Tuesday. So he passed for a career-high 303 yards against the Seminoles, but Cal went 0 for 5 on producing touchdowns on drives that reached the red zone. So Mendoza threw 1 pick. He was sacked 7 times. The teams have split 4 previous meetings. In the most recent matchup, Cal beat Miami 24-17 in the 2008 Emerald Bowl. But I believe this is the first official trip to Berkeley for the Canes. So any thoughts on that? And follow us all on the Coastal Sports Network video platform, and always call or text 727-858-6650. I'm just going to play a real quick cut before we get to some NFL stuff from Cam Ward. Where is it? I had it. In fact, this might be a video we can play, Angel. It is. I retweeted it earlier. Where is it? It's down past. Oh, boy. I thought I retweeted it. I may not have. Don't worry about it. I thought I retweeted this, but I did not. Okay. All right. Let's get to some NFL stuff, Angel, shall we? We'll get more into college football again. Trevor Harris at 8:30 coming up will join me. We'll talk Canes and Bears, Golden Bears, and we'll talk about the Dolphins as well. Let's see. If we could scroll down on ESPN, NFL Live yesterday, Angel, right after it's 2 down, Darren Orlovsky thinks Davante Adams would fit well with the Jets.
Dan, which team needs Davante Adams the most?
It's the Jets. Davante Adams is going to play for the Jets. I said in July that I was basically guaranteeing he was going to play for the Jets. Davante's going to get traded to the Jets. I'm calling the shot. Look at the reason, number one reason why. This offense is a standstill offense, okay? They don't use motion. They don't want to use motion. Why? It's either the offensive coordinator or the quarterback, okay? So execution and people being able to dominate in their job is the number one thing that this offense needs. I'll go back to when Tom went to Tampa Bay. It was the same exact thing. Laura, we sat on the show. Tampa Bay's offense, they don't use enough play action. They don't use enough motion. So everything was about guys being able to win. Why do you think they went and got AB? This is essentially the Jets going to get, I said yesterday, go get OBJ. This is the Bucs going to get AB. I also think the connection this year hasn't taken off with Garrett. Mm-hmm. I don't know why, it just hasn't.
That's been surprising.
Yeah.
I thought
totally
would have been better.
And the third thing is their defense hasn't dominated the way we expected. So if they're going to play in this kind of standstill, archaic offense, you better have plenty of guys on the outside that can win. I say it's the Jets, and I don't think the Jets have any choice but to.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting. And Aaron Rodgers has been trying to get him there for a couple of years. It is also Davante Adams who seems to have this nagging injury. Once Antonio Pierce never got back to him, it seems a lot of coincidental stuff going on. And Davante Adams, to me, he will never play in a Raider uniform again. And probably will end up with the Jets. The people who are the idiots who talked about him going to Kansas City, it's not going to Kansas City. There's no way. The Raiders are not that stupid to trade him within the division to Kansas City. So I heard Pittsburgh possibly, but the Jets seem like the most logical fit. But it doesn't matter, Angel. It won't matter. I told you they could get Davante Adams, Randy Moss in his prime, Michael Irvin in his prime. And anybody else in their prime. It's the Jets. They're not going to make the playoffs. It's inevitable. That's what it is. They're not going to make the play. Bring Jerry Rice back, too, in his prime. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. There's something about that uniform. I don't like to use the word curses because people use that with the Red Sox for years. It wasn't curses. It was drunk management, drunk managers, idiotic and chaotic ownership and general managers for 86 years of chaos on the whole before they finally won it in 2004. Same thing with the Jets. It's absolute chaos.
Jay brought up a point yesterday. I want to get your thought about it too. When you just mentioned as far as the Red Sox, but Alex Cora, who just got that 3-year extension.
Yep.
Do you believe that he would? Because he looked like I mentioned it to Jay that he looked a little bit like a deer in headlights the other day when your GM was talking about what.
Yeah, that's what he said. I noticed it right away.
Yeah. So would Alex Cora become the new GM and step down as a manager?
No way. No way. Craig Breslow is not going anywhere. Nope. I mean, maybe he wants to be a GM a little bit later on, but not right now. No. He's got enough on his plate trying to put a team together, depending on what he's allowed to have, depending on what the groceries Breslow picks and what John Henry allows him to do, which I don't know. Nobody knows anything right now as far as that stuff goes. If we could scroll down again, Angel. Let's talk about Bill Belichick a little bit. His name keeps resurfacing for some different things. It's under Duff Kleiman. Gronk yesterday with Kay Adams on the Up and Adams show talked about Bill Belichick possibly, if the phone ever rang from Jacksonville, might be interesting. Here's Gronk on Up and Adams with Kay.
I think Coach Belichick will pick up the phone if the Jacksonville Jaguars call and they have a head coach vacancy. No doubt about that. I mean, I believe that Coach Belichick does belong in the coaching world. I think he's doing a great job in the media this year and taking a year off. But I think he will be back in the NFL next year. Everyone wants to see that. I want to see that. NFL fans want to see that. But I feel like, he will take the call because they had Tom Coughlin in there before, who was under the same coaching tree as Bill Belichick and, that tough mentality, that old school type of football. So they understand, the discipline of Coach Belichick. I think.
Yeah, I mean, they understand that, but I don't know if Shad Khan and the way they fired Tom Coughlin wasn't the greatest thing either. I'm not sure if Bill Belichick would be a fit, depending on, again, how much autonomy he would have over there, no matter where he goes. And I still think it's going to end up being if he comes back, I think it's going to end up being with the Cowboys. I really absolutely believe that. He likes Jerry. I mean, he likes Jerry. They get along. I don't know how much he's going to like it once he gets there, but I'm sure he's, I think for him to come back, he really wanted to coach the Atlanta Falcons. I think he was very disappointed he didn't get that job, according to some sources that I've read and talked to about it. But if Dallas comes a call and if they continue to, spiral downward a little bit here, which I told you, I thought they'd take a step back. I still thought they'd make the playoffs, so I thought they'd take a step back. I think Bill Belichick will answer the phone if Jerry Jones calls and if Mike McCarthy and the Cowboys don't do anything this year. I think there's a great chance that Bill might be being the coach for the Cowboys next year. Speaking of Bill Belichick, yesterday on Sirius XM NFL Radio, he talked about making quick decisions during a game.
Yeah, how quickly it happens. I mean, even when you're calling plays, the play's over, the ball's spotted, they bring it back in, you see what the substitution is on the other side of the ball, and then you got to make your decision and get the play, and you've got 5-7 seconds, and they're coming out of the huddle, they're coming on the ball, and it cuts off at 15 seconds anyway, so you can't go much beyond that. But that decision making happens very quickly. And then when a coach makes a decision, and I've made plenty of bad ones, and you get criticized for it, which we should. I mean, I get that, but you look back on it and it's like you had 5-7 seconds to make a decision. You should have made a better one, but it comes on you pretty quickly, and sometimes you don't think about every single thing as quickly as you should, and that's what makes this game great. There's a human error involved in it.
Yeah, he's right. And what made Bill such a great coach too was situational football, and him being able to think on his feet immediately. I mean, just knowing every last little major detail, just amazing. But I think he's doing a great job on all the media platforms he's on. I think he's doing an excellent job. Buccaneers Falcons tonight before we go to break. Going to be really interesting. Kirk Cousins on the year has thrown 4 touchdowns and 4 picks. Baker Mayfield much better. By the way, 864 yards for Kirk Cousins. Mayfield passed for 984 yards, 8 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Of course, Kirk Cousins adding, and Raheem Morris, and offensive coordinator, Zach Robinson. So the Falcons are 2-2. The Bucs are 3-1. They had their brain cramp against Denver and Bo Nix a couple of weeks ago, but bounced back nicely against the Philadelphia Eagles last week. The thing with the Falcons is interesting is that they need to get Kyle Pitts involved. He only has 10 catches this year, or 15 catches, 1 touchdown and 105 yards. And I don't think he had any yards last week, if I'm not mistaken, in that game. So they got to try to get him more involved. Kirk Cousins has to play better as well. The Falcons win over New Orleans last week. They did 26-24. They won despite not scoring an offensive touchdown. Kyle Pitts was held without a catch, and Bijan Robinson ran for only 28 yards. I mean, if you told me those 2 numbers, I would have said New Orleans won 50-0. Crazy. Morris said he'll take the win and let others fret about the numbers. Raheem Morris and Robinson acknowledge improvement must come, and the offense can't rely on the defense and special teams to produce points, which it did last week. As we told you, Baker Mayfield threw for 2 touchdowns, ran for a score in Sunday's 33-16 romp over Angels Philadelphia Eagles, who he is now disavowed from. Mayfield has passed for 8 touchdowns and 2 picks. And Cousins, remember, signed a $180 million deal as a free agent, has 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Mike Evans became the Bucs' career scoring leader last week. He's the only one part in the passing game that also features, as you know, Chris Godwin, and then promoted Sterling Sheppard from the practice squad as another option for Mayfield. Terrific. The Bucs have won the past 3 NFC South titles. This is their 4th 3-1 start in the past 5 years. And they've also been successful against the Falcons lately, winning 6 of the past 8, by the way, between the division rivals, and outscoring the Falcons by 51 points in those games. The Falcons committed 9 penalties for 76 yards on Sunday. They already have 30 penalties for the season. So that's got to be right at the top of the league as well. What else? So there's and I'll give my official pick. I'll give my official pick now. I'm taking the Bucs tonight. I'm taking the Bucs plus 1.5 to win the game outright. And I love the total going over. So I like the Bucs and the over tonight. And it's going to be a very, very entertaining game, very important game. But the Bucs 6-2 against the Falcons the last 8. Bucs just can't, go back to what happened with Denver. Stick with the plan. Stick with what they did best last week against the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. Quick break here. Hour number 1 is in the books. Hour number 2 coming up shortly here on the Pete Sheppard Show at 8:30. Trevor Harris from WQAM will join me. We'll talk a lot of college football, particularly Miami at Berkeley coming up for the Golden Bears on 10:30 on Saturday night. And then Bill Burt at 9:30 from the Eagle Tribune will preview the Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. And speaking of the Dolphins and everybody else, lots of NFL preview sound coming up next as the Pete Sheppard Show continues on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
What's up, Southwest Florida? Jim and the Beef Guy here. Fort Myers, we answered your call. We're pumped to announce the opening of our 2nd location. It's on 41 just north of the Edison Mall. And guys, nothing's changed here. The beef, the sausage, the breaded steak, our Maxwell Polish, now serving you in 2 locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. And don't forget, if you're having a party, check out our catering menu.
Hey guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced Chardonnay.
Phil Castanetti, Sports World in Saugus, Mass. is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. Don't miss the return of the legend, former Bruins goalie Tim Thomas. Tim will be at Sports World on Saturday, October 5th from noon until 2 p.m. Tim will be signing and taking photos. Prices vary, so don't miss this awesome event. Saturday, October 5th at Sports World, 184 Broadway in Saugus, Massachusetts. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there.
High on Tampa Bay is the latest news, weather, and traffic for Pinellas, Pasco, Ellsboro, Hernando, and surrounding communities. Stay connected on X, Facebook, and their website, highontp.com. High on Tampa Bay keeps you informed on breaking news as it happens. Southwest Florida's newest game in town. Sports Radio 102.9, the game powered by High on Tampa Bay. We'll be right back.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The Pete Sheppard Show. It's fun for the whole family, if it's dysfunctional.
There's always that opportunity, yeah, but I think you have to throw at least one. Flying down the left field line,
I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby, I'ma have the best fucking night of my life. And wherever it takes me, I'm down for the ride. Baby, don't you know I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. 'Cause I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright. Baby,
And everybody, welcome back to the Pete Sheppard Show. What a night it was for the Detroit Tigers, and Andy Abadia is right there in that clutch double, 3-run double in the 8th. Man, Tigers win. How's everybody doing on this Thursday? We are one step closer to the weekend. Yay!
you know I'm down for whatever tonight.
A great video this is too.
I get your blood flowing.
Oh yeah, how do you not? How do you not love? I'll probably get in trouble for playing more of this from our Facebook people. If you can't get excited for this, this might be my walk-up music. If I was a baseball player, this might be my walk-up music. Yeah. How do you not get excited for this?
Exactly.
Come on, everybody. Oh, it makes me want to run down to the end of the garage or into the driveway and back. I'm good in all facets of music. I actually like playing that one on the piano a little bit when I can. Some good stuff. Good stuff. It's kind of like the same 7 notes all over again. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, welcome back to the Pete Sheppard Show. It's hour number 2 here on the Coastal Sports Network. Checking us out. Thank you all on the video platform. Oh, look at that. Nice background picture.
That was sent in by Gas Pump Guy. That was the sunrise that he wanted to share with everybody. He said he wanted to share God's beauty this morning, and so there is the sunrise.
God is in Southwest Florida today. That is a beautiful sunrise. Absolutely gorgeous. Should we use that in my backdrop? Can we save that?
Yeah, we can.
All right. That's pretty cool. I like that. I like that, Gas Pump Guy. Thanks for checking me out at pshep326 on Twitter X, on Facebook at sr1029thegame.com, Ion TV, CSN Florida, Twitch, LinkedIn, Spotify, Rumble, YouTube. And you can call or text the show, 727-858-6650. Got my Tampa Bay shirt on. I got 2 of them. You know, when Tom was down here. Still root for my beloved Patriots. Obviously, they're number 1 in my heart. But the reality is, I've always kind of liked the Bucs. Even with Doug Williams back in the day, felt badly for them until Doug got there. And remember when they beat Dallas in a playoff game? It was phenomenal. Julius May says, any news or gossip rumors? Now, you keep asking me this, Julius, every day. Or maybe not you, but somebody else did. Look, if you're involved in Odyssey at any way, they're in bankruptcy court. They're $2.6 billion in debt, a lot more probably now. They can't do anything. Don't be surprised at any Odyssey station, doesn't matter if it's Philly, Boston, New York, around the country, if major cuts are not going to be made. They're going to be made. All these major companies are all cutting people. Okay? They're all in bankruptcy court. They're all doing lousy. That's why I'm doing this. And I'm done. I'll be a guest on some terrestrial radio stations. That's fine. But I am done being duped and manipulated down the stretch, because it's just, I don't have to answer these people anymore, because a lot of them are all liars. They just tell you one thing and then do another thing. They don't come through. So
right.
This is why, Angel and I have a great working relationship here. It's his It's his site, and I'm just hanging out for a few hours. But we help each other out. We try to make sure that the entire network is doing great. And look how we have grown leaps and bounds just in the last 3 months. Just in the last 3 months. Everybody knows, most people know what we went through with some other people. What Angel has done with this webpage, and what he is doing the work of 10 people. I'm telling you right now, the guy does the work of 10 people by himself. It's amazing stuff. I had a great meeting yesterday with our friends on Fort Myers Beach. By the way, I was on Fort Myers Beach yesterday. Stopped and saw my friends at Diamond Head, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, they're going to come on board and be a sponsor of the program. We shall see. Don't want to put the cart before the horse, but an awesome meeting yesterday. The beach actually looked fantastic. The water looked fantastic. It was amazing. So, if you're around the Fort Myers Beach area, get down there and support some businesses, especially my friends at Diamond Head and Cabanas. And the pool is open. You can go there, get a $20 day pass, and enjoy. My good friend Rachel works the bar, works the poolside. Sometimes she's a server as well. She serves poolside, and she is as efficient as all hell. You don't have to wait 10 minutes for a drink. It's unbelievable. You can have a cocktail in the pool, all that stuff. The pool is up and running. It's great. Margaritaville, not so much down the road. No, that pool was empty, and they got, from the hurricane last week, no water. You can't go in that pool. You can't go in that pool. But at Cabanas, the Diamond Head, it is open, and even if you're not staying there, you can go for a day pass, $20, and enjoy the beach and the pool, and great service, great bartenders, and really good food. Really good food down there. They revamped the menu downstairs at Cabanas, and upstairs, hopefully it's going to be opening very soon. They're renovating that, and there's a new chef and a new upstairs restaurant and menu that's coming your way as well over there, hopefully in November. So we'll keep you posted on all of that. But if you're around the Fort Myers Beach area, go and support some of the businesses. And the roads you can go down them now, but as in Clearwater, Angel, up your way, the amount of sand that is piled up so many areas. But I must say, Fort Myers Beach, it looked really good. It looked sugar white sand. The water looked beautiful for the first time in a long time that I can remember, where you don't have to go out, 150 yards for it to be really, really blue. It looked like it did when I first moved down here 8 years ago. So that's good. I'm sure things are getting better up your way as well, Angel, right?
Yeah, I always refer it to folks. So when you have the nor'easters, it's the same way. It's like a whiteout, but it's sand. And thankfully, a lot of it's getting cleaned up. They still have a lot of work to do down in Clearwater. They're still asking folks that if you don't need to be there because the beach is not open still as of yet, not to come down so they can keep cleaning and doing all the preparations that they need. Because even some of the wildlife from Clearwater Marine Aquarium, they had moved to Orlando because of the problems that they were having over there. So hopefully they'll have the marine life back. I think they said in about 2 or 3 weeks as they continue to clean up. But Hogan's place, Hulk Hogan, his place is supposed to open up, I believe today. Debbie was telling me that they had about a good 3 or 4 feet of water, but they cleaned up. They I don't know if Hulk Hogan got his Hulkamaniacs to come out there.
How does that place do, Angel?
It actually does pretty well.
I haven't been there. And that's right in Clearwater?
Yeah, right on Clearwater. Yep. Okay. It does really well. I mean, I can't speak for everyone, but I know when Debbie and I went, it was clean. It didn't, some people complain that it smelled dirty, this, that, and the other, or smelled like mop water. It didn't. And we were downstairs, and then we went up on the rooftop. The rooftop, we had a lot of fun because they have one big TV, and I want to say like 2 smaller ones. But it's a great spot. I don't know why people complain about it. Why I think it's a great spot, but I believe they're reopening today. And there was one more I think Debbie was telling me about for the reopening as they're trying to get things cleaned up. Possibly the beach will be open this weekend if they can get everything situated back. But like the way they're doing St. Pete, they're gonna have to pump a lot of sand from out in the Gulf back onto the beach because now, of course, it keeps, getting shorter and shorter. Yeah. The walkway from the
erosion.
Yippers.
Yep. Well, that's good. Things are getting back here. I don't know about my friends in the Carolinas, South and North Carolina, and parts of Tennessee. There's still a lot of people, thousands of people still without power. So hopefully they'll get it back sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Luna update. She is fantastic. She continues to prosper here. It's like she's been here for 10 years. It's unbelievable. And I went on the Facebook page that we adopted her from yesterday. Peanut Gallery is already on it. We got, because the owners there also put a link to the show, by the way, and on the Scotty webpage, the Rescue Scotty Terrier Southeast webpage. And they put Lisa, her previous stepmom, put up a beautiful tribute to Peanut Gallery and myself, and about flying up, after the hurricane. It didn't stop us. What a wonderful family Luna's going to. Really, really nice stuff. And then she posted the link as well for the show, at least on Facebook. And 500, as of yesterday, 547 responses from people all over the country and the world wishing us good luck with her. And I'm sure a lot of those people that put in applications for Luna that didn't get her, we were very lucky that we got her. She's just added so much to our little family here, because I don't have kids. So it's just myself, Lady Lane, and Peanut Gallery, and Luna. She's terrific. She's terrific. Let's see. Julia says, no, I just answered that question. Julia says, Philadelphia can't stay as is media-wise. They have to change like every other day. Well, look, it's the nature of terrestrial radio. It's the nature of what once were some really huge, fantastic radio stations around the country that were owned by Odyssey / Intercom. And, they just ran them into the ground. Bad management, plain and simple. Bad management, bad consultants. Whenever you hear anybody or read about radio consultants, it's like having a mass case of dingleberries for 8 hours. That's the best way I can describe it. Never had that, but I imagine that's my analogy.
By the way, I want to know, Dylan, you do realize that the Bucks won last week. So I don't know if you're talking about the bounce back, unless you're talking about the Eagles, which are not bouncing from anywhere because they're off this week. But I hope you realize that your Bucks won last week. So because he said
the Bucks will slam the Falcons. So he's just tweeted the Bucks will slam the Falcons. So.
By the way, this chant here, I will tell you, it's probably the only thing that annoys the crap out of me when I go to Ray J, because it's so long. Like, I get it, like PUCCANEERS, go Bucks. I'm like, Jesus, you guys really? Couldn't you just come up with something else?
Well, that's why I like when when Sebastian does the cane, CANES. CANES Canes. He does it quickly. I can't do it. I'll dislocate my body. When I tried doing it up at the Swamp, when we had I played the video. It's on my Facebook page somewhere. When Sebastian in costume with the full band there, by the way, in Gainesville, and did CANE. Yeah, I can't do it because it hurts to move that quickly. But CANES Canes.
I've never. And I know a lot of people are talking about Jaden Daniels. Rick says, by the way, Central Florida residents, keep your eyes on the weather the next 7 days. It could get a bit bumpy. But I know a lot of folks talk about Jaden Daniels, but Cam Ward, this guy is he's so intriguing because I've said this before, and he's the only one that I can think of that, again, he's one of those guys, he can come on there and tell you about, E equals MC square and just break out, every analogy from Einstein. But then at the same time, he can almost, I'm quite sure, bust out a hip hop lyric. Then he can hype you up. I mean, his range of where he can take you and drop you off and then bring you up again. It's insane, this kid.
Yeah, I love him. It is the best transfer portal pickup maybe of all time yet. I mean, it just really was. And when you think about that Florida State, he thought about it and then said, nah. No, thank God. Florida State is, and Florida for them, but Florida State actually might be in worse shape. They just got pummeled last week. Anyway, Angel, if we could scroll down, let's get some NFL stuff, and here's some cool NFL video. Time for our weekly segment to make fun of the Jets. Here's Robert Saleh on helping the Jets correct their mistakes. It's right on, if you might have to refresh, it's right underneath the show. I just tweeted it out, so it's right underneath the show. Thanks everybody for checking in. Just on Twitter, I see we got hundreds of viewers already, just on my Twitter page alone. So Robert Saleh, Jets head coach, on the Jets coaching mistakes, helping the Jets correct mistakes.
Let me take that away for a second, and here we go.
Experience that from coaches at the lower levels of football, does that have any effect in the NFL with the turnovers?
Depends on who you talk to. personally know they're men. They want to be treated like men. They already know they messed up. They don't need to be embarrassed. They need to know how to correct it. And I don't think doing push-ups is teaching a guy how to correct it.
Oh, yeah, tell it to the military.
How about run till you puke? Start running.
Exactly.
I remember old Bill Cosby himself, stand-up from Toronto, the one that kind of really put him on the map before the Cosby Show. And he's like, my wife was a smart woman. She graduated, cum laude with, in psychology, which means child psychology, which means if you ask her a question, she'll give you at least an 85 answer. He's like, I from Temple University, physical education major, psychology minor, which means if you ask me on how to help a child, I will tell you to tell the child to take a lap. I always love that. When in doubt, start running. I remember coaching a little league baseball team, and when I was playing, first thing you did, no matter where it was, whether high school, Babe Ruth, whatever, first thing you did was run. Take a lap around the field. I'm not saying, you don't go to town on everybody, we're not running cross country. Take a lap. If I told you how many parents even back then, why is my son running? Why? First of all, he's fat and out of shape, which is why he's in right field at 12 years old. Secondly, it's what you do. It's you stretch out your muscles. You get the blood flow. It's a lap around the field. You're not running the Boston or New York City Marathon for crying out loud. But it's unbelievable. Then you wonder why baseball players pull hammies all the time, running down to first. All right. That's my little rant for the day. All right, right under that, Angel, we talked yesterday with Mia O'Brien, and we had talked about her and the reports that were out there about, by some, that the Jaguars of Doug Peterson had lost the locker room, but Jaguars captains Evan Engram and wide receiver Christian Kirk debunked that, as did Mia O'Brien yesterday.
Oh, that's never a question. I love playing for Coach Peterson. It's the reason why I came here, and I know everybody else can say the same. We have so much fun coming in here, and he just creates an environment for us to go out there and own it. This is our team. It's a player-ran team, and Doug has done a great job of just putting it in our hands and help facilitating that. And we all know he wants the best for us. So that's 100% false.
Not true. One book. I don't know who said that. That's just not true.
Oh, that's never.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah.
Whoever said that was not true.
Not true. Well, we'll see how true it is, or if it's not true, or how true it is coming up. They host the Indianapolis Colts, a team that they just own. By the way. Anthony Richardson spoke yesterday on his health and playing status for the game on Sunday in Jacksonville.
Anthony, how you feeling physically now, a few days removed from the game?
Still a little sore, but better than after the game. So that's good news right there.
You think you're going to practice today?
No, not today. They're holding me out today. Still a little bit of soreness, but we'll just see how I feel tomorrow.
Coach said that you don't really need to practice to be able to play. I assume you agree with that. Give me how important do you want to play this week against Jacksonville?
No, it's definitely an important game, a divisional game. And then going back to Florida, that's my home state, so I always wanted to play down there. But, like Coach said, I don't have to necessarily practice to play. So we're just taking it day by day, just seeing how I'm feeling and seeing if I'm ready to roll out there on Sunday.
Well, here's the thing with Anthony. You remember this, Angel. What's interesting is he didn't play all that much in Florida either because he was always hurt for the Gators. It's kind of reflecting. That's why when he went so high in the draft, people were like, is this guy really ready? He hadn't played that much for the Gators, You see flashes of talent, and you still do, but we'll see. Chris Ballard, though, on being a patient. This is the Indianapolis GM with Anthony Richards' progress.
We live in a world of instant gratification where we think that guys ought to hit the field and be superstars from the get-go. And, of course, and I heard you talking about C.J. Stroud and, his impact from the get-go. But not every player's development is different. And we knew it was going to still take some more time with Anthony. We knew there was going to be some really high highs and some low lows, but you have to work through that. If you just look at even throughout the league, like Josh Allen didn't exactly light it up either right away, and he came on. So you've got to just be patient.
Chris, you and I are both old baseball guys. Can we take
Anthony across the street and to the baseball stadium and teach him how to slide?
There is no doubt. You know, we've worked on, and actually they've worked on a lot of things to help him in that way. But, you know, when you're in the game, the instincts kind of take over, and he's done a good job this year protecting himself. Just he took a couple shots on Sunday that got him, and he'll learn from them, and we'll learn also to figure ways to protect him.
All right. Yeah, it is interesting. Some of these guys, Josh Allen, one of them, but Josh Allen has taken some major hits, but he's a big boy, 254. And Richardson, is not built like Josh Allen, but these guys still, the head first slides are absolutely ridiculous. And you don't want to see anybody get hurt. Let's see. What else do I have before we head to break here? Again, and Trevor Harris coming up at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk some Canes and Golden Bears in Berkeley coming up. A couple more videos. Oh, here's one. Angel, the right underneath. Let's get back to baseball a little bit because I want to play as much funny video as I can. Evan Ingram, right underneath that, the 1010 XL. Michael Kay with one of the worst calls you'll ever hear yesterday. He was doing the Houston-Detroit game on ESPN.
Line down the left field line, it is a fair ball. 1 run scores. 2 runs score. Everybody scores. It's a bases clearing. Big pinch hit for Albanez, and it is now 5-2 Detroit.
I don't know if it's all that bad. I'm looking at this guy who posted that. Said Michael K, one of the worst calls you'll ever hear. Well, you know what happens. Now, right below that, Angel, here is the most painful strikeout in postseason history. One of them in the same game between Baltimore and Kansas City yesterday, actually.
Swing and a miss, and the pitch hit him. He swung at the pitch, it appeared, and missed, and they're calling it a strike. And that appears to be the right call. It did hit Cowser, but after he swung and missed. And now Brandon Hyde, double duty here, checking on Cowser, but also checking about whether they want to challenge the strikeout call. So if it's a hit by pitch, it's the lead for Baltimore.
Just one.
Yeah, looked like from that one it might have hit him on the hand.
Yeah, but if he swung at it, it doesn't matter.
Yep. And he did, and it was a strike. He did swing at it, and that was absolutely the right call. And the last one, Angel, scroll down to Barstool Sports, and as I said earlier, on August 10th, the Tigers were 55-63, and yesterday they knocked the Astros out of the playoffs. Here's how it looked, and here's how it sounded on ESPN yesterday.
Sorry, not sorry, Astros fans.
The 0-1. And this should end the run. And that'll do it. The Motown magic continues. The Tigers sweep the Astros 5-2, and they will move to the American League Division Series.
Yeah, Michael K with the call. There you have it. They win. And moving on. Detroit is moving on up. All right, quick break. When we come back, we'll talk some college football and some Miami Dolphins as well. They come up to New England to play the Patriots this week. We'll talk Canes. We'll talk Dolphins next with Trevor Harris from WQAM right here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
What's up, Southwest Florida? Jimmy the Beef Guy here. Fort Myers, we answered your call. We're pumped to announce the opening of our 2nd location. It's on 41 just north of the Edison Mall. And guys, nothing's changed here. The beef, the sausage, the breaded steak, our Maxwell Polish. Now serving you in 2 locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. And don't forget, if you're having a party, check out our catering menu. Hey guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced Chardonnay.
Phil Castanetti, Sports World in Saugus, Mass. is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. Don't miss the return of the legend, former Bruins goalie Tim Thomas. Tim will be at Sports World on Saturday, October 5th from noon until 2 p.m. Tim will be signing and taking photos. Prices vary, so don't miss this awesome event. Saturday, October 5th at Sports World, 184 Broadway in Saugus, Massachusetts. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there.
Ion Tampa Bay is the latest news, weather, and traffic for Pinellas, Pasco, Ellsboro, Hernando, and surrounding communities. Stay connected on X, Facebook, and their website, iontp.com. Ion Tampa Bay keeps you informed on breaking news as it happens. Southwest Florida's newest game in town. Sports Radio 102.9, the game powered by Ion Tampa Bay. We'll be right back.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You want the best in sports and entertainment?
You got it. Now back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
Well, it's a later game, so the adjustment will be in the, we got an extra day of rest, which is good for us, playing a Friday game. And then as the week goes on, you push things back an hour and a half, where you end up getting back or pushing for 3 hours so that your body feels like you're playing at a normal night.
Back here at the Pete Sheppard Show, that was the team Miami head coach Mario Cristobal talking about heading to the West Coast early to take on the mighty California Bears. Yeah, with that, we welcome in for now his weekly visit, Trevor Harris, one of the executive producers and hosts over WQAM for the Hurricanes and Dolphins postgame show. Waking up, doing a 305 justice this morning, Trevor. How you doing, my man?
I am wonderful. 954. I don't live in Dayton.
954. Well, you know.
We're close. But I claim Broward as much as possible because there's more East Coasters in Broward than Miami-Dade anyways. So that's why. I got to make sure. I always tell people, like, do you say Miami or Fort Lauderdale? Like, I say Fort Lauderdale whenever I go out of, like, when I go outside of Florida, like, you don't say Miami. It's like, no, I say Fort Lauderdale. People are like nuts at me. Like, you don't say Miami? It's like, no, I don't want to. Anyway, so that's my little thing. Anyway, it's like if you're from Boston, it's like you're from Saugus and you say you're from Boston. Like, no, you're not. You're not from proper Boston anyways. That's why.
No, the worst thing about is the North Shore, South Shore thing.
Yes.
People go North Shore, South Shore. If you are north of Boston, then no matter where you are, people assume it's North Shore, which is bullshit. Mm-hmm. Same thing with South Shore. South Shore, people say they're from Braintree, Mass, because they're 10 miles south, and that's supposed to be South Shore. No, South Shore is once you get to Cohasset and Hull and Plymouth and Cape Cod. In those areas, that is South Shore. North Shore, the same thing. Gloucester, yes, just like in the movie up there. Georgetown, yes, it's a Georgetown. Up, that area.
Oh yeah,
that's North Shore. That's North Shore. But people have this thing in New England where if you are just, it doesn't matter if you're 2 miles, you could be in Chelsea, and that's North Shore, and you could, you could be, just. In Weymouth, it's South Shore. No, it's not.
No.
Not South Shore.
It's the argument we have in Connecticut. Are you Fairfield County or New Haven County? And we always make fun of people who live in Bridgeport, Stratford, and a few other times. Like, you can't claim either because it's like we're part of Fairfield County, but we're also part of New Haven anyways. It's like depends where the county line's at anyways.
All right. Now, you have an interesting weekend coming up.
Yes, I do.
Talked a little bit about the other day. You will not be producing the Canes this week, although you will be in California.
Yes.
Go ahead. Explain yourself and your predicament and how you're going to get out of it to get to Berkeley.
I am not lying. I really want to go to this game.
I know you do.
I really do. But my mother may kill me, and my girlfriend may kill me. That's why. And my dad says, like, just don't get killed by either one of your people. So, I have to go to a wedding in Monterey, California. Monterey, California is known for three things: the golf course at Pebble Beach, the racetrack Laguna Seca. If you any them racing fans out there back in the day, like Formula One and Champ Car, and it's 2 hours from Berkeley, anyways. I asked my buddies, like, can you pick me up in Monterey? He's like, dude, I don't have enough gas money to get you back to get to Berkeley. He's like, dude, I'll pay you. He's like, dude, I'm not going to have you do that for me. So I'm trying to find a way to get to Berkeley to watch this Canes Golden Bears game at 7:30. And the funnier part is a welcome party is happening at the same time right now. So I'm going to find I bring the phone, which is right now, it's currently busted and stuff. It's supposed to come today, a new one, because Verizon never shipped it. So
why? Oh, I know what happened. What's his name's mom? Rice's mom took it. Like she took that other package. Did you see that?
I heard about that. It's crazy. So,
maybe she's in Florida and took your phone.
I know. The funny thing was Verizon yesterday. It's like the thing never shipped. It's like, what do you mean it never shipped? Like, never submitted. It's like, you wanted to throw my old phone anyway. So I'm trying to find a way to watch this game. And I know one thing: there's a Florida State fan on my cousin's side who's from Orlando, so I got to give him some hell already. So that's the other thing. So
all right. So now, what time's your flight leave?
My flight I'm leaving Fort Lauderdale,
not Miami.
Not Miami.
Yep. They're two different areas. There are two different airports, by the way, for those of you
who in the morning
around the world. What?
6:50 in the morning to Dallas Fort Worth.
Tomorrow.
Saturday morning. I'm flying.
And the wedding is Saturday?
The wedding is Sunday.
The wedding is Sunday?
Yes. Yes.
What time?
I think it's at noon or 1 o'clock during like it's an
all right. So
awful
1 o'clock California time. So what? 8,
it's 4 o'clock out in
4 o'clock here.
Yeah. So like the 4:05 game is Cardinals 49ers. I'm missing and Rams Packers. So
And Miami Patriots at 1.
That
you won't be able. So you won't be able to see any of the 1 o'clock games.
No.
I don't understand why people get married during football season and on a Sunday.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Outrageous. That is outrageous.
It is an outrage.
My first marriage, I got married during a huge BC Virginia Tech game when Michael Vick was in his prime and
Yes.
BC was good back then. And I took holy hell for it. It's amazing. It's
I
amazing
really want to give
that marriage didn't last long. Started off with that. My friends were pissed, because both teams were nationally ranked. I think Virginia Tech was 3 or 4, and BC was like 12, whatever it was. It was like the game of the year. And nobody sat down for dinner. Everybody was watching on 2 little TVs in a bar area at the time. This was back in 1992 or 93.
Okay.
So it takes, man, and I understand churches and getting a place is not always easy because things are backed up. But, man, it is tough to get married in the middle of football season. It really is.
I'm just happy that she did it during the Eagles bye week, because if this was like week 4 and like Eagles Bucks, I was like, now we're in a predicament. And she's like, I would look at there's a bye week next week. But the thing is, she's not much of a sports gal anyway. It's like a football person anyway. She's very casual of that. So she just likes watching casual ice hockey and stuff. And she does horse equestrian. So she's like, this is the only time my schedule works. It's like, all right, fine. So that's why.
Horse equestrian. Wow. Speaking of that, last night on most of the broadcast on ESPN, they were advertising Superman, the Christopher Reeve story about him, the actor, great actor, unfortunately falling off the horse, becoming paralyzed and all that stuff. It looks like an unbelievable movie that's coming out. It's coming out in theaters, but it looks like it'll be go to TV right away. But it was on every commercial. It seemed
Definitely.
Anyway, all right. So you got to leave Saturday for after all the bullshit and lay over in Dallas. And what time do you arrive in Los? What do you arrive? Are you going to
DFW? DFW. I'm getting there at around 9:05.
The San Francisco area.
Monterey. I'm flying into.
Oh, Monterey. Okay, yeah.
I found. I was like, I'm not driving to San Francisco.
Yeah.
Getting there around like 11:40 in the morning.
11:40 in the morning.
Yeah.
Which would be 2 o'clock here.
Yeah.
Or 1:40 here. Okay.
Yeah. Airbnb won't let me in until 3 o'clock. This is myself, my brother, and her. We got. All
right. So at least you'll be able. The Canes Golden Bear game out there will be at 7:30 your time.
Yes.
So will you be able to plant yourself and watch it?
Oh yes,
or
I
will all your
will.
festivities be over? The pre-festivities and rehearsal. Is there a rehearsal dinner on Saturday or?
I have no idea. That's the funnier part. I am flying blind in here. It's like this is the most comedy thing about me. I looked at the thing. It says some things, but not every detail I need. I asked a few people. No one has given me an answer. So I am literally flying blind.
How did people not know this? How did people in the wedding not know? Are you in the wedding?
I am not in the wedding, thankfully.
You're not an usher.
I am a guest anyway, so
easy to sneak out. Even on Sunday, so you can at least put your phone on the table and watch.
Oh, absolutely.
You won't be the only one. Who gets married on a Sunday at 1 o'clock? Come on, have some respect.
Maybe a priest.
I want your family mad. I'm only joking.
I know. Maybe a priest will get married on a Sunday because they get a cheap discount rate maybe at the church. Here's 50% off. Here you go. Maybe they can use those Bed Bath Beyond coupons still laying around. Those things never expire.
So where will you be at 7:30 Saturday night your time, California time anyway?
I think I will be at the wedding party. I'm gonna have the phone out. I'm gonna have it on.
That's the rehearsal dinner thingy.
Yeah, it's a welcome party. Everyone gets to see each other, and I haven't seen one of my uncles since 2016. So it's always good. And he's also an Eagle fan because he was a Charger fan when when the Chargers left San Diego. He has like, can I jump on the Eagles? Like, go for it. So that's why.
What a change.
I know, because he
Now
told me.
he might wish he's back as a Charger fan now that Jim took over.
No, he when they left San Diego, it was like they're done. They're dead to me. That's why.
Yeah,
So
a lot of people felt that way.
absolutely. But he's a Padre fan, so he's very happy right now. He says, like, I got Padre fever last night. That's why.
No question. It was outstanding. I'm proud to say I'm 8-0 in the postseason in my Hard Rock at bets. 8-0 so far.
Let's go.
On fire. On fuego. Oh God. So man, where's the rehearsal? Where's the get together party at?
It's at Monterey. I think it's at the Pebble Beach Golf Course, like the one of the big ceremony. Yeah.
Oh, an aristocrat.
Yes.
Hey, why don't you go try to play 9? You can get on there for about $400, I believe. It is a public course. You can't get on there. It might be up. It used to be $350.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be $350. You could play. You might be able to get on and play 9. Oh,
I may have to get a photo up there so everyone could enjoy my Twitter where I'm at this weekend. Anyways. So.
Oh, I definitely send some pictures. We got to. I mean, I want to see that. I've never been to Pebble Beach.
Me neither.
I want to play that course, especially the 18th hole across, on the ocean all the way up, and one of the best, greatest par 5s in golf history. It's why the U.S. Open is there sometimes as well.
Oh yeah. It's like one of those golf courses that's cool to go to anyways. It's like if it's on the US Open list, you have to find a way to get there. So that's how I view it.
Wow. So there'll be plenty of TVs at the Pebble Beach Golf Course. So I'm sure at 10th. I mean, this is one of the feature games, and that late in the day. Let me see what else you can have a choice of. The Canes have the last game at 10:30 Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. That's the top 25. Let me just see overall what your choices there's nobody, and it's California, so obviously it's going to be out there. Then people are going to be interested as well. The only other game, there's a game at 8:00, Hawaii at San Diego State. Who gives a shit about that?
No, thank you.
The only game after Miami Cal is Texas Tech at Arizona. That is at 11 p.m. on Fox.
The lady is a Texas Tech alumni, so she will have her phone out for that game at least. So.
That's right.
He is a Red Raider, anyways.
I hope you don't get overruled at some point where they put the Tech game on instead of she does. She wants you to put the Tech game on as opposed to the game.
She's very I'm fine with the Hurricanes. She works down here as well. She comes down here once every few months, so she doesn't mind the Hurricane fans. She just can't stand the Gator fans, honestly. She works with a bunch of Gator fans and Florida State fans, so I'll take the Cane fan at least.
Florida State fans are worse, I think.
Oh yeah. They're a bunch of weasels anyways. It's like when you ask them, who's the famous player out of there? Anyways, it's like maybe it's like Derek Brooks. Like, I'll give you that one. It's I heard of Peter Walker. Like, let's stop it. You're not doesn't count in my book.
We had a Heisman Trophy winner that played in the NBA. Yes, you did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
All right, let's talk about this game a little bit, and we'll get to the Miami Dolphins. And again, Cal coming in on their last 5 games. They should
be Florida State. This should have been battle 4-0 teams. I feel
that was an ugly, hideous game. So they're 3-1 on the year.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Auburn in Auburn. That was a hideous game. That was unbelievably ugly for Auburn. Hugh Freeze has got to be on the hot seat. They beat UCD, big deal, and they beat San Diego State. But it is interesting. You probably know Fernando Mendoza. I played the cut earlier. He's from South Florida, from Columbus High School. Went to the same high school as Mario Cristobal. Manny Diaz told him that maybe he could be a Hurricane, but he'd have to walk on. He didn't take too kindly to that. So, as he says, God let him out to Berkeley. But he's a nice young man. He looks like he's right out of Wall Street, well dressed, well coiffed.
There you go.
On the year, 5 touchdowns, 2 picks. But it's a long road trip. I know the boys are going out early. I saw the moving van. I played the video of the moving van out there. It is amazing, all the stuff that has to get out there through 3,102 miles there.
Dumb question from me. Why couldn't they use a big cargo plane?
That's what I said. I don't know.
I
said the same thing.
The NFL does that. Why can't college football invest in that department? Get one of those.
Miami's got the money. I don't know. I mean, a lot of these schools have the money. It's not like they don't. I was watching them load this, and I was like, wow.
This should be on a cargo plane. Get one of those big things that the Air Force use. Roll the trailer on there, and get the trucker over there on the West Coast ready to go, and boom, you're good to go. You save money.
I do not expect a slow start from the Hurricanes coming up on Saturday night. I don't. I think they don't want another situation with Virginia Tech last week. Although I'm glad they got punched in the mouth a little bit and had to fight back. You need games like that. Everybody needs games like that. It doesn't
You need a
matter.
little
You saw
adversity.
Georgia against Kentucky, and then obviously the Alabama game and all that. How about Mississippi losing to Kentucky? So you see a lot of these teams getting punched in the mouth, and some of them, the good ones, will fight back. Alabama got punched in the mouth a little bit by USF earlier for the second time in a row, and then they exploded for 26 in the fourth quarter. So the Cal Bears, I don't think they I expect a double-digit win by the Hurricanes. I'm not saying they're going to win by 30 or anything like that, but I think wearing the white jerseys, orange pants, I believe.
I like that
on Saturday night. So I think it should be. I'm expecting sort of a close game in the first quarter, first half a little bit, as I kind of feel them out. I don't think they've ever played at Berkeley. They're 2-2.
Didn't they play in Berkeley in the late '80s? And they were doing all the celebrating and stuff. It was a bunch of penalties. And
I know the last time they played was 2008 in the Emerald Bowl.
I remember that bowl game. That was a
They
dumb
lost
show.
21-17, I believe, was the final in that one. So Cal does run the ball well.
Yeah, they do. They're good. I think it's for me is like when I think of Cal, I think of the Marshawn Lynch and Deshaun Jackson era. After that, it's like Cal football is just like a roller coaster and stuff. Then you have Jared Goff, which was your height, and then now it's like, who do you even have? That's what I go by. Like,
Aaron Rodgers too. I mean, Aaron.
Oh, I forgot Joe Rose too. I apologize. I gotta say Joe Rose too. If I don't say that, the Cal Berkeley alumni will go after me. So,
but when you say Cal football, what's the first thing that people think of?
Deshaun Jackson.
No.
No. Jason Kidd playing basketball.
No, Cal football. What do they think of?
Tony Gonzalez?
Mm-mm. Not just one. It's not
the band on the field.
Band on the field. People also don't realize that Elway's senior year. It's not like I think they went 5-7. Stanford did.
Wow, that is Stanford football.
I think they were under. They were under 500 that year. I will never forget that game as long as you weren't even born yet.
I wasn't even a thought yet, as I like to say. I missed all the cool stuff. The band on the field, the 80s Miami Hurricanes, the early 90s Miami Hurricanes. What do I have? The early 2000s, the early 2000s Canes, Greg Olson being a baller, a rap song, the Randy Shannon era, the Al Golden era.
Yep. Well, now it's a new era of Mario Cristobal. I know what I love about tomorrow night is that Reuben Bain Jr. is expected back in the lineup, one of the best defensive linemen in the country. He's been out the last 4 games for the Canes, and
he's been very much needed and missed in that defense. I think that defense needs a lot of action. I can't wait to see him back on the field because the defense is always the key to the Miami Hurricanes. If they can get pressure on that quarterback and that offensive line, it's game over.
By the way, Mendoza passed for 303 yards against the Seminoles. The problem in that game, they went 0 for 5 on producing touchdowns on drives that reached the red zone. So that's the problem. And that's what Miami is fantastic at. I think Cal's going to be in for, this is without a doubt, going to be the best defensive front they have faced all year. So if they can force Mendoza into some picks early, shake his confidence a little bit, but the man seems to be very composed. And of course, Miami's just on a roll.
Oh yeah,
and been on a roll.
I feel like all the quarterbacks that come from Miami Central, like the high schools, they always do like somewhat well in like other schools, like it's not in South Florida, like Tyler Huntley and at Utah and stuff, for example. Geno Smith at West Virginia. So I always say they always bring a big chip on their shoulder out of state, which is always good to see, anyways.
Cal does have a pretty good wide receiver in Neziah Hunter.
Okay.
He's pretty good. Watch out for him. He averages almost 20 yards a catch as well. He's got 4 touchdowns this year, so he's their big go-to guy. He's got 14 receptions for 182 yards, and can't say enough about our guy, Xavier Restrepo.
I love that man.
Oh, man, I love him.
I love Elijah Arroyo.
He's the Canes Julian Edelman. I love him.
I love him and Elijah Arroyo, too. Those two do a great job. Also, Jacoby George. He's changed whatever he's done from last year to this year. He's been really good, I like to say. So I like to say that. Also, Cam McCormick as well, who's been playing 7 years in college football. He's been injured left and right. Also a great story of the Canes as well. So I'll say that for sure.
No question. Yeah, Trevor Harris with us from WQAM in Miami. Now, you working today? And tomorrow, you're not working today and tomorrow?
I'm working today. I gotta do some stuff for Westwood One. I gotta do tomorrow. I'm off. I gotta pack, so I've not started that department yet.
How long are you gone for? You're leaving Friday,
Saturday morning, Sunday, coming back Monday night. I'm not getting back.
You are screwed. And then you get the Panthers and Bruins to open up the NHL season. You're producing that game too?
No, they're not letting me produce that. We need you to do the Heat preseason games. Like, no, not the Heat.
God, can't they move the Heat to another station in your company?
I said that, and people said like the Heat have priority. I was like, ugh.
Oh God! So you're not going to get. So where the Panthers playing on? What station?
I think it's Waxy. I'm not totally sure. Anyways,
what's that? FM or AM?
It's an AM station, but there's an FM feed 104.5 HD2. I'm like,
they're going to raise the banner, have the rings, all that stuff, and it's not going to be on the flagship station because the goddamn Miami Heat.
Yeah. This is why I always say the hockey team needs to take priority down there.
That's where the Miami Heat have to come in and say they have to be up and say in this business, you guys run the Panthers that night. We'll take our exhibition game somewhere else. I mean, come on. That's just like that's almost like professional courtesy. That happens a lot.
Yeah, like
it should happen a lot. It's Jesus. You gotta have the Panthers on the flagship on that night.
I agree. I threw a stink toward this anyway, so I think it's a total outrage.
I don't want to get you in trouble because
I know.
Far be it from me. It's off general managers and program directors. By listening I can't believe sponsors would be that upset either for an exhibition game that no one's going to listen to. Nobody listens to exhibition basketball on the radio. Nobody. No. But they will listen to Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers on the radio on a banner on an historic night.
Agree.
Wow.
Totally agree.
Who the hell is coming up with these decisions?
I don't know.
I know.
Out of my pay raise anyway, so they just yell at me like, we need to do the Heat game. I was like, do we? It's an exhibition-based basketball game, which no one's going to care about anyways.
Oh, that's unbelievable. All right, last couple minutes here. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins a little bit.
I already have the Patriots winning down here, and everyone wants to kill me, by the way.
Well, look, I think they can. Now, what sucked yesterday, David Andrews out for the year. So their offensive line.
And Jalen Phillips out for the year, too, also.
Yeah, exactly. So look, this game could be 6-3. But Miami is, Miami's in rough shape right now. There's no question about it. The Patriots are catching them at the right time. It's amazing to me how, and what have been the calls like this week about Greer not making a move, getting a quarterback. They cannot continue like this. It's pathetic.
They should honestly They should honestly call Philadelphia up for Kenny Pickett, but the problem is Philly's like, we're not taking your call, Chris Greer, anyways. We may need you. We may need Kenny Pickett to start soon, anyways, because Jalen Hurts ain't it. I will say that for sure. They really should trade for whoever is the backup in Denver or Jimmy Garoppolo. Honestly, I rather take
backup in Denver is Stidham, I believe, right?
Stidham or Zach Wilson. Go grab Jimmy Garoppolo, who's in LA just chilling right now. So like. At least Garoppolo knows how to run the McDaniel offense at least.
I still thought, it just goes to show you with Tyreek Hill and Waddle and those guys, it makes a world of difference. You got to have a quarterback. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You got to have a quarterback, and they are awful, 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 awful without Tua. And the cuts we have played this week, listening, just listening to Mike McDaniel stuff. I'm not going to play the whole stuff like this.
When you're negatively affecting the team. My recourse is I think it's my duty as the head coach, for every player and coach involved in the thing to literally hit it straight between the eyes and talk about it in a team meeting. And most teams, guys, they want to be part of the solution, not the problem, and so that. But at the same time,
what a bozo!
All accountable, including
Sriracha. I call for Sriracha all week long, playing these cuts because I want to torture myself and just
I had to cut
into my eyes and have my eyes, and then do something to my ears. I don't know, get a toothpick and a hammer and whack it in, so I can be free of Mike McDaniel and the pedantic blathering that goes on. It is unbelievable to listen to that nonsense.
He's worse than Coach Spoelstra. Coach Spoelstra is the king of it, and I have to cut up his sound after every
Hey,
game.
Did you hear him yesterday? I played the cut yesterday. They even asked him about it. And I said that. I said, he's not quite as boring. I said, but that man can coach. I mean, obviously, there is a Miami Heat culture that absolutely exists. I get that. And somehow, the Miami Dolphins need to channel over what the Miami Heat have. But even Eric Spoelstra sounded like a rah-rah go-getter guy compared to Mike McDaniel. But he even asked him about what was wrong with the Dolphins yesterday.
I know. I saw the cut, and I was like, I don't even want to look at any of this right now. I can't stand Mike McDaniel. He's becoming Chip Kelly almost. I said that. People thought I was crazy. It's happening right now in front of your own eyes anyways. He only has 3 plays. A post play, a curl route, and maybe a run play. How about that? Maybe a screen.
Yesterday, what he said, or 2 days ago?
No,
now he's the OC up at Ohio State.
No, what did he say up in Ohio State?
Let me find it. Hang on.
Did he say something stupid at least?
Oh, no. It was actually quite entertaining.
Okay.
I will give me 2 seconds here.
Because I haven't heard Chip Kelly say anything entertaining since he left Philadelphia for San Francisco, at least. That's what I like to say. I know those media members are pretty soft anyways in San Fran for the Niners.
Oh, please. Exactly. Let me see.
Maybe you need Mark Willard to go in there and ruffle some feathers up there at least.
Oh, come on. Where is it? I know it.
Did you see the clip of him during the playoff game? Mike McDaniel looked like he was hitting a vape half the time.
Oh, I know. I understand. Actually, maybe I didn't retrieve. But he basically said, what's the difference between a head coach and an OC?
Mm-hmm.
Is that as an OC, I can go to the bathroom. It's right when I'm upstairs. The bathroom's right over there. So
yep.
Anyhow, so the Miami Dolphins, they're in absolute disarray. So what were the calls like this week and everything? Were they more focused on?
They want Chris Greer fired. The people are saying the honeymoon's over. Like, people are fed up with the Dolphins. People are really mad at when Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel laughed at the media members. Like, when it was an offensive line question, everyone laughed at they laughed it off. It's like, you are playing with fire, my friend. And everyone's calling for their head. They want people fired. Not Mike McDaniel, but they want Chris Greer fired. He's been here for way too many years. I think it's 20 years, by the way. He's been here way too long since the Dolphins fell off the earth in 2004.
So before we let you go, so you're going to be in Cali. You're going to be in Monterey for a wedding.
Yes.
Meanwhile, your hardworking co-workers are going to be producing the Miami game.
Yes.
And 10:30 at night, for national TV, ESPN. So that's going to be at least 3 hours. So 1:30 maybe. Figure 1:30, 1:45 Eastern time. Post game show is how long? An hour, hour and a half.
Probably 2 hours. I think this will probably end by I'm gonna say 3:30 in the morning.
So by the time everybody get out of there and everything else, the sun will almost be ready to come up. That's what you're telling me.
Yes, that's what I've been told.
And you'll be snoozing away in Monterey.
I will then be making sure, looking for the email where the highlights are, because I'm going to make the highlight montage for Joe Zagaki's Hurricane Hotline for Wednesday night on the plane ride from Dallas to Fort Lauderdale. That's all.
So you have to produce Joe's show coming up while you're on the plane.
No, I got to produce to make sure I get the one part of his segment ready, so we'll be good to go as prepared. As we like to say, proper preference, piss poor performance.
All right, my friend, enjoy the family wedding. I know, if there's a way you can sneak out to that game, I know you'll try to, but I know that almost be impossible. So anyway, it's going to be a big game in California, obviously. They don't get a lot of big college football games in California. Even USC is a little bit better, but UCLA. This will be a huge game. They'll get a big audience out there. All right, best of luck, my friend. We'll talk next week. I can't wait to hear. Send some pictures from the Pebble Beach Golf Club where you'll be hobgobbling with some of the all-time greats.
I will make sure to say a few things. I'll make sure to get a picture of the racetrack. Maybe I can turn a lap in that. I'll get a hot lap for you guys there.
Nice.
I will make sure to send you pictures, and I will make sure this.
Yeah.
At least I am not producing post game for the Dolphins Patriot game, because that's gonna be a total gong show. At least that's why.
On both sides, yes,
both
teams. I have a feeling. All right, my friend, safe travels, all the best. We'll talk to you soon.
We'll do. Thank you, Pete, as always. Appreciate it.
All right, Trevor Harris from WQAM. Wow, misses out on the Patriots and the Canes because he's going to a family wedding in Cal. Hey, want to remind everybody before I go to a break, for the best articles and audio, there's only one source that provides everything you need 365 days a year to satisfy your sports crave. It's Total Sports Prep. The staff combs through the best articles and audio so you don't have to. Sports and non-sports kicker stories will leave you laughing all day long. To get the free trial of Total Sports Prep, contact them at info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. That's info@sportsbroadcastingcoach.com. Total Sports Prep, the name says it all. Hour number 3 of the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Network. Bill Bird at the bottom of the hour. We'll preview what's probably going to be an awful game between the Patriots and Miami, but we'll get into it anyway. Coming up next on the Pete Sheppard Show, Coastal Sports Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
What's up, Southwest Florida? Jim and the Beef Guy here. Fort Myers, we answered your call. We're pumped to announce the opening of our second location. It's on 41 just north of the Edison Mall. And guys, nothing's changed here. The beef, the sausage, the breaded steak, our Maxwell Polish. Now serving you in 2 locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. And don't forget, if you're having a party, check out our catering menu.
Hey guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it Gardenia. It's pronounced Chardonnay.
Phil Castanetti, Sports World in Saugus, Mass. is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. Don't miss the return of the legend, former Bruins goalie Tim Thomas. Tim will be at Sports World on Saturday, October 5th from noon until 2 p.m. Tim will be signing and taking photos. Prices vary, so don't miss this awesome event. Saturday, October 5th at Sports World, 184 Broadway in Saugus, Massachusetts. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there.
Ion Tampa Bay is the latest news, weather, and traffic for Pinellas, Pasco, Ellsboro, Hernando, and surrounding communities. Stay connected on X, Facebook, and their website, iontp.com. Ion Tampa Bay keeps you informed on breaking news as it happens. Southwest Florida's newest game in town. Sports Radio 102.9, the game powered by Ion Tampa Bay. We'll be right back.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. I know you won't, because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen. Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
He swings and drives one out towards right center. Taylor back, and it's gone! Mitchell, a two-run homer, and the Brewers have the lead. It's 5-3, and this place has come unglued. It's big. Hit Mitchell. He gets the curveball up and stays through it as if he was waiting for it. And boy, did he not miss it.
It was a madhouse yesterday at American Family Field. That's in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Mets lose. Ah, Mets lose. And the game went over the total. Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. Tie-breaking home run in the eighth. Chorio went deep earlier as well. Mets lose. Milwaukee wins. Big game 3 coming up tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Welcome back to hour number 3 of the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Network. Thanks, everybody, for checking us out. Following me on Twitter, X, at PShep326, on Facebook, at SR1029thegame.com, INTB, CSN Florida, Rumble, Spotify, LinkedIn, Twitch, YouTube, and call or text at 727-858-6650. Excuse me, Angel, 1 second. I got to shut the door. Here.
Dun, dun.
Hey, here I am. Peanut Gallery's got a conference going on in office number 2. I am in office number 1. Here in beautiful Fort Myers, where it's going to be 90 degrees. Once again today, might have to head up to the pool. Might have to be a pool day today a little bit, get some laps going, get the energy going. How you doing this morning, Angel? You worked 10,000 hours yesterday. You okay? You hanging in there?
Yeah. Long day yesterday. It was a lot of fun, which was good. Ended up getting a call not too long ago, which was really cool, that someone was on a boat, and being on the boat, they said they heard Jimmy the Beef Guy's commercial, and they were like, hey, we've been there. We ate there. So,
awesome.
Yeah, so that was really cool to hear. So thank you for that, because it's always good to hear some feedback. But yeah, super busy. By the way, the Tampa Bay Sun Football Club finally got their first win of the season yesterday, which was very, very nice. As the ladies have been trying their butts off to actually win. So they won against DC last night. And what else is, what's today? Today's Thursday. We have Bucks Falcons. I feel like
Bucks Falcons tonight. And we have
Milwaukee.
We got Milwaukee, and also tonight in college football, we got a couple of doozies for you that I'm sure will get hardly anybody to watch unless you put shekels on it. But Texas State and Troy go at it tonight at 7 o'clock. That game is on ESPN2. And Sam Houston at UTEP at 9 o'clock. And I think that game, Sam Houston has some unbelievable record against UTEP, like 10 straight wins. So that game right now is Sam Houston State 10 and the total is 50.5. But jump all over Sam Houston tonight. I believe they have like this ridiculous record against UTEP. Just from a Sheckler point of view. Go ahead, Angel. I'm sorry.
By the way, that's a complete violation by Miami of not showing the banner ring ceremony. That is absolute. That is
broadcasting it. I mean, I don't understand it. And look, I've worked at stations where you've had, you're the flagship for a couple, and I know QAM, do a great job. I mean, they got the Hurricanes, they got the Heat, and they got the Panthers. But for an exhibition game, I mean, you got to put the feature game on the flagship station. I mean, that's just somebody. It's just a bad look. Well, I'm the Panthers. I would have put up holy hell for that. I would have really put up a fight. And usually the other team in that situation will stay. I remember when I was at EI at one point with the flagship for the Red Sox, Celtics, and Boston College, and sometimes a lot of it would overlap. And you just, we had 4 other stations, and you just push it off to another station. The top game, whether it be a playoff game or a big-time regular season game, is always going to get play over an exhibition game. Although I do remember back in the day, this is not that, I do remember the Red Sox putting up a fight one time with management at WEEI because they wanted their exhibition game on the flagship at the time, which was 8:50 a.m., and this is before like FM really started to come into play for sports radio. I forget, but it was a thing. This is not uncommon what's happening over at QAM with that, but it's too bad. Usually the other team will step aside and say, it's an exhibition game. Come on, let the Panthers have their day.
Yep.
It's the feature game. It's opening night in the NHL. It's the feature game on ESPN against my Bruins.
Yeah.
And the flagship station, they don't get any airtime. That's too bad. But we digress. All right, Angel, bottom of the hour, Bill Burt's going to join me. We'll talk about the Patriots and the Miami Dolphins a little bit. But before that, got some video I want to play. Let's just go right in a row. Let's scroll down too. Let's start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's Trevor Lawrence on the Peterson locker room report that came out yesterday. You might have to refresh. It's the second one story down. Yep. Yep.
Change in terms of the relationship in that regard?
I mean, I shouldn't even have to. You got to do your job, so you got to ask it. But I shouldn't even have to answer it. I mean, not at all. I don't know where that's coming from, so I don't even want to really expand on something that's just not true. So.
Change.
All right, here's what I'm going to say. Yeah. When people post a video up there, and I understand you when you're in the room and you think you're getting great audio, they should listen to the playback because that came in so low that I think only the best dog in the world could have heard that.
No, I hear you. All right, let's get to another video that I tweeted out recently. It's at the top, and it's interesting stuff that was on NFL Live yesterday. And looking at Brian Flores was the Patriots defensive coordinator, game planning for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, and Devin McCourty's on this. It's right underneath the show, Angel.
Jets, Vikings.
All right, Jason, you played in this Flores defense in New England. How important is Rodgers' cadence against that system?
It's everything. Everything he does before the snap. I remember playing against this guy in 2018, and just a week leading up to it, all the conversations you have to have with Rodgers. We first implemented this where everybody's walking around the line of scrimmage. You don't know who's coming. This is 2018. We looked at Rodgers and we were like, all right, when he takes his hands out of his warmer, that's where we're going to go. You're going to see Devin McCourty right there. He looks like he's getting out, like we're going to go drop back and play. Then next thing you know, ball snaps, we're going with an all-out blitz. This is in the first quarter. He throws a long ball, nobody's home. All right, we're shutting this guy outfit down. Gets to about the second, third quarter, Aaron Rodgers starts to figure things out, brings the formation closer, and you have this wily vet at the bottom. It's like, oh, it has to come out quick. No, it doesn't. They've let everybody in the block. 50 yards later, I'm getting beat, and I'm looking at my brother and every other person. Y'all all blitz. Y'all can't get home. Somebody hit his arm, do something. And this was back in 2018 where we were going with this max blitz look and doing all these things. Now, the difference, Dan, nowadays is Flo isn't playing man-to-man behind all of that. He's playing a lot more zone in that Vikings defense. Go ahead. What you got?
I've got questions. I got questions. So you said you guys were waiting off because that game was at home, correct?
Yes,
in New England. Yep. So you guys were waiting when he pulled his hands out of his hand. Were you right?
Early on.
That first clip, you were right?
There was a point in the fourth quarter where Rodgers is back there. He has his hands in his hand warmer. He takes him out. My brother, Devin McCourty, and Deron Harmon sprint to the half. Aaron Rodgers starts laughing at us.
Put his hands back in his hands.
I'm like, damn.
He figured it all out.
Come on out, fellas. He got us. Come on out.
Hey, we're caught. Everybody,
come on.
Just line up.
I mean, like, it's like a pitcher tipping pitches, but, like, you don't normally see it get figured out on the other end. They're like, wait, what are they seeing? Really fast, though, you guys won that game.
We did win that game. I made a few plays, so I know that was a bad play. I made a few plays in the game. We won.
Set the record straight.
That was a great tape. That was a great tape.
So you talk about a tell like in poker. Aaron Rodgers, as soon as he takes his hands out of his warmer, the boom, unload. Great stuff. Absolute great stuff. I want to play a couple more videos before we get, and you're going to have to refresh my Twitter page again, Angel. Just came up with this one. This is great. Love on Barstool Sports. The Brewers forcing Game 3. And one of our favorite people, Frank Fleming, you saw him. He spazzes out all the time. He can't stand the inflection of the announcers after the loss. Rough times in the Big Apple yesterday. This guy's quite the character.
Drop. See you guys tomorrow night. I want you to deny this. Just listen. You guys say there was no excitement when the Mets took the lead or did anything. Well, they want to have a game 3. But no, the voice inflection, just listen to it. When the Mets do anything good, it's flat, nothing. They're pissed. But it's like he's probably slamming the pencil Gary Cohn style. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow. Either 3 or at 7.
I want my red stapler.
That is so funny. Oh man. Let's see what else. I want to scroll down one more time. Earlier today we played it, but it's worth it. Let's go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on my Twitter page. Angel, scroll down. Mike Evans was mic'd up on Sunday against the Eagles in that big win.
Hang on.
By the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 27 is Quinion Mitchell. He is a rookie out of Toledo, Angel. He yapping at the future Hall of Famer. Jerry said I could watch and listen to McCourty brothers all game day. Yeah, I agree. But listen to number 27, Quinion Mitchell, early on, yapping at the future Hall of Famer Mike Evans. Of all the nerve.
Exactly.
You easy. I've been on you all day, bro. You easy. Huh? You easy as f***. Get over. I've been on you all day, huh? How many catches you got on me? You got 1 catch, you got a clear. All right. You know who I am, right? You know who I am, right? No, I do not. No. I don't. Yeah, that means you got more juice. That means you should have the most juice out here. We 31. I woke up pissed off. You woke up pissed off.
Everybody woke up pissed off.
You see what happens? The most physical team? We're more talented than everybody.
Hey, we could be in
or just as much.
Right now.
Everybody stay ready, man. It's toasty. Golly. Vita! Big Vita! Let's go! For the Bucks. Monte! Let's do it. Slide. 2 of them. You turn around. Ready. Hey, y'all are stoning these. Keep it up, man. 12 minutes. Yeah, look at that. It's because of y'all. It's because of you. It's because of y'all.
You still be gaming?
Yeah.
We gotta get out there one more time.
I still play, bro. I got you on Fortnite.
Yeah.
Bro, I love that effort over there. That's inspiring, man. I appreciate it. No matter what, you just come to work and play hard as fuck.
Thanks, Mike.
Love that shit, man. We get a lot of that. We win ball games. They're done. I cannot block number 3, bro. I'm sorry. I cannot block number 3, bro. Please don't. Does he go hit? Bro, you're 12, man. Congratulations, bro, and everything. Yeah, man. You beat that now. I'm 1 year behind you. We've been playing against each other since college, bro. That's crazy. You're the same, dude. This just feels like training camp at this moment right now. I love you,
Oh, and Mike Evans had a real good game. Touchdown with 97 yards and like 9 catches and everything else. But that's the ultimate slap in the face, Angel. It feels like training camp. Like that's how badly Tampa Bay beat down the Eagles on Sunday. Can the Eagles recover? We shall see. Psychologically, Angel is done with the Eagles. Thinks they have no chance to recoup anything as long as Sirianni is the head coach. And our friend Trevor, also an Eagle fan, he wants Jalen Hurts out. Are you done with Jalen Hurts also?
I'm not completely done with Jalen because he can be fixed. Only if he wants to. So I'm not completely done with him whatsoever. I am done with Sirianni. I'm done with the rest of them. I'm done with Big Dom, the security dope. I'm done with that nonsense. They need to get over that stupidity when they keep, let's bring out Big Dom so he can protect everybody. So I'm done with that nonsense. But I'm Jalen Hurts. I'm okay so far until he shows me otherwise.
All right, we're going to take a break in a minute. Then Bill Burt from the Eagle Tribune going to join us. We'll break down Patriots-Miami, which might be a 6-3 game. Tyreek Hill, though, yesterday on recent trade rumors for him going to Kansas City.
You know what, man? I'm just focused on right here and right now. Like, we got a beautiful team here.
Really?
And I want to be a part of it. You know, we got a great situation here. My family loves it. I enjoy it. The weather's great. The fans are great. So we got a beautiful situation here, man. Obviously, you know, my parents always taught me, you know, control the controllables, and I only can control so much, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we all know the NFL is a business. Whatever happens, happens, you know what I'm saying? So moving forward, I would love to be here. I love being here. You know, I love the guys. I love my locker mate, Javon Holland. He's a maniac. He's the guy, you know what I'm saying? He brings me nice snacks sometimes, you know, so.
Does this sound like love to you?
When you're negatively affecting the team, my recourse is I think it's my duty as the head coach, you know, for every player and coach involved in the thing to literally hit it straight between the eyes and talk about it in a team meeting. And you know,
kids. I'd rather listen to the crickets. A lot of love by Tyreek Hill. He says there's a lot of love in the locker room, and Holland's bringing up snacks. Isn't that nice and cozy? Yeah. Wonderful. There is not a lot of love in that. There's a lot of deception. There's a lot of animosity. There's a lot of anger, and people want the GM fired. I mean, sitting there on your ass and not doing anything as Mr. Huntley or Boyle is going to lead you. And despite all the weapons that they still have on offense, these guys cannot get out of their own way. They are awful. Yes, I know my Patriots are awful too, and have to tell me, I get it. But this is a Dolphin team that, you know, there is no next man up. They look completely disheveled. And that coach, stop with the cutesy little things that he does. That's all. That's over. That's over. This guy is never going to lead the Miami Dolphins to anything, ever. Go back to being an offense coordinator. He is not a good he's not a head coach. He's not. All right, quick break. When we come back, Bill Burt will join me from the Eagle Tribune. We'll talk Patriots and Dolphins.
There's your wrap.
And a 6-3 game coming up in Foxborough on Saturday. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Dude, you see your pictures up there? Deputy Sean sent his Camry.
Oh, that's Deputy Sean. Okay, fast. Oh, my God. Look at that. It looks like it's something on a NASCAR, right? That's him. That's Deputy Sean. Lee County Deputy Sean. Used to be Officer Sean. Now he's the Lee County Deputy Sean. Unbelievable. He's something else. He loves his cars, man. He loves his cars. If I told you how much money he spent on his last car, the piece of shit that he had, decorated it, the amount of money he spent, he could have bought 2 used cars. We used to try to tell him. Craig and I would tell him at the other place all the time, "Sean, what are you doing? Stop it. You're wasting time." You know, you could have picked up a Trixie and gone around the world and had fun. the amount of money he spent on his last car. But whatever, makes him happy. That car, it looks nice. All right, Bill Burton next here on the Pete Sheppard Show, final segment of the Coastal Sports Network.
And here we go. Just like that.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
What's up, Southwest Florida? Jim and the Beef Guy here. Fort Myers, we answered your call. We're pumped to announce the opening of our second location. It's on 41 just north of the Edison Mall. And guys, nothing's changed here. The beef, the sausage, the breaded steak, our Maxwell Polish. Now serving you in 2 locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. And don't forget, if you're having a party, check out our catering menu. And guys, when you're at the counter, don't call it gardenia. It's pronounced Chardonnay.
Phil Castanetti, Sports World in Saugus, Mass. is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. Don't miss the return of the legend, former Bruins goalie Tim Thomas. Tim will be at Sports World on Saturday, October 5th from noon until 2 p.m. Tim will be signing and taking photos. Prices vary, so don't miss this awesome event. Saturday, October 5th at Sports World, 184 Broadway in Saugus, Massachusetts. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there.
Okay, men. This is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're gonna go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You gotta dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. No, you won't. Because that's what caregivers do. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. This is your time to show the world, your family, and yourself that you're tougher than tough. Now go out there and be the best caregiver this world has ever seen.
Caregiving is tougher than tough. Find the care guides you need at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
Consider giving Antonio Gibson Andres normally
That's definitely a consideration. And I've had multiple conversations with Andre. But look, we can't preach that ball security is job security and still have them out there to enjoy.
Stop fumbling the goddamn ball. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. They better sit his ass down, at least for a half or something like that. Ridiculous. 4 fumbles. Good Lord. Hey, welcome back. Final segment of the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Network. And driving like driving, Miss Daisy, is the one and only Bill Burt from the Eagle Tribune, who had to witness a lot of this nonsense such an ugly game. And then we lose David Andrews, the Patriots did. But Bill, good morning. How are you? Are you driving to Foxborough?
Driving to Foxborough. So,
not like driving Miss Daisy, driving to Foxborough.
A lot going on today. A lot going on. The meeting as well down in the area. So, Pete, it's not good. And you know, I'll say what Dennis Smith once said: they are who we thought they were, who I thought they were, and that's okay because this team was, and I'll say it again, is not supposed to be good this year, and it wasn't. The first game sort of, I think, we spoke after the first game. I was stunned.
2 games, yeah.
I was stunned. Yeah, in the first 2 games, but I was stunned how disciplined they were, and so we're starting to see a little of that go away. But look, let's be honest. You lose the players they've lost, and now you're going to add David Andrews. Juwan Bentley, that's a loss. He's not a star, but he's sort of a Gerard Mayo kind of centerpiece to this defense. Back when Gerard played, and so I'm not surprised. What I am concerned about is where this team is going forward, and we can sit here and talk about the quarterback situation. When is Drake May going to play? I'm not as much concerned about that as I am about Gerard Mayo keeping this team on the right path and together, and that's a concern. It was my concern when they hired him. What's going to happen when the bleep hits the fan, and how is he going to handle it? And I'm not sure he's handled it properly yet. It doesn't look that way. But I will say this. They got killed, obviously, score-wise, by the 49ers, but they did not give up. And that's a head coaching thing, in my opinion. They did not give up. And I'm not going to praise them for – there's no silver lining. But that's what I look for in a head coach. What's this team do when all hell breaks loose and when things really don't look good? I'll say it again, Pete. It's not how this season starts for the Patriots. It's how it finishes. So that's where I'm focused on my day-to-day covering of the team, looking at the team. It's a mess. And, Stevenson looks like a good running back. You can't fumble the ball every single game like he has. You can't do it. And look, the quarterback, Jacoby Brissett, is a backup quarterback, and that's what he is. That's what he's always been. And I get what the Patriots are trying to do. That's why I'm not going to lose sleep over get him in. You ask me, I would play Drake May.
I would too. I've had it. I understand all the offensive line woes. I get it. There's a lot of teams with offensive line woes. Maybe not. Maybe some even worse than the Patriots. The thing about this next couple of weeks, they're going to have a shot. You know why? Because Miami is so dysfunctional right now. What is going on over there in no quarter? I mean, the game could be 6-3 on Sunday, and then you're going to go. Doug Peterson could be fired before they get to London. I mean, before the Patriots play Jacksonville. If they lose to Indianapolis, which they never do, but if that should happen again, and the Patriots get Miami and Jacksonville in back-to-back weeks, one in Foxborough and one in London, it's 2 totally discombobulated teams. Miami, much worse case. But if the Jaguars don't win, and are 0-5. Oh my God! I don't even know how Doug Peterson survives. I'm surprised he survived this week. They lose to a team that they always lose to, and then Patriots would get Miami. Well, they're favored by a point again this week, despite everything. And I think they're going to win. I think they're going to be. I think the Dolphins are so bad right now with Mr. Ultra Purr, Mike McDaniel, and his pedantic blathering that I think somehow, some way, the Patriots are going to find a way to win ugly. And then who knows what happens with Jacksonville the week after in London.
Well, Pete, they better win against Miami. That Miami game on Thursday night, on Monday night was one of the worst games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that was embarrassing. And I will say this that's why, and we'll go back to Drake May. It's okay if he gets hit a little bit, but let him figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And my point would be is if Drake May had someone to follow, to watch, to learn from, I would say sit him for the year. He doesn't have that. Look, if he had Joe Flacco, or Andy Dalton at quarterback, I would say, you know what? These guys are okay. They're going to win 6-7 games, which are winnable in the schedule. But that's not the case. I don't know what Drake May's learning. And sometimes we got to let these guys figure it out. That's what great athletes do. This kid is a very good athlete for a quarterback. And listen, I saw enough in preseason where I said, okay, there's something here. And I think you get a kid like that, a win or two, I think you ride that pony. And I'm telling you, it's December. How is he looking in December? And I'd rather not have him play his first 4 games in December. I'd rather have him have a couple of wins under his belt, go to Buffalo, figure out how to play in the weather, how to play with the crowd like that needs that game probably for a top seed. And that's my biggest problem with the team. I don't know what the plan is. I don't know.
But I think this is the perfect opportunity to put Drake May in a situation like this. I know David Andrews. Look, I know about the offensive line. We can talk about that till hell freezes over. But this team is vulnerable right now, and I mean the Miami Dolphins. And Jacksonville can be vulnerable the next week should they get upset by the Indianapolis Colts. What better time? Put the kid in now and let him light Miami up if possible, or just have a decent game. You can't get a better situation than this right now. Offensive line or not, put him in this week and let's see what he can do against this discombobulated Miami Dolphin team and their head coach, who's just a bumbling idiot, as far as I'm concerned, about what he has yet to accomplish. And all this nonsense that I know about his past and I know about speaking may not be his thing. It sounds like a buffoon. And these pedantic blathering press conferences that he has, where he goes on for 3 minutes and talks about nothing. Just take the Belichick road and say, we're on to New England. Because when he speaks, there's nothing believable that oozes out of his mouth. Nothing.
Well, listen, he's new at this, and I'm not saying I agree. He's learning. He's learning on the job, and that was my biggest issue.
He's been there for a few years. He's been to a playoff game. He can't survive without Tua. That team cannot survive without Tua, and there's still a lot of offensive talent on that team. And you saw it. You think that team didn't give up on Monday night? That was pathetic, as you said. It's pathetic. Yeah. And you think that team has a lot of I don't know. What?
Sorry, I didn't know you were talking about Mike McDaniel. So here's the deal with him. I've never bought into this, nerd theory where everything's cool and we're wearing clothes. This is football. This is a quote unquote man's game. The man's game. It's brutal. It's physical. It's tough. And we looked at this guy in Miami and we said, "Whoa, this is interesting. This is the new era." No, it isn't the new era. The game is still the same. And look, right now you could argue football right which other time I think quarterbacking and coaching is at an all-time low in the NFL. Not an all-time high, all-time low.
Oh,
the
we just
team,
lost.
and it's not going to happen this year. But if it happens, Bill Belichick, it's in my opinion, you put him on a good team. It's someone that's going to compete for a championship before he calls it quits. I'm
Well, you heard
100% sure.
Gronk on Up and Adams with Cade yesterday, and he thinks that the Jaguars call that Bill Belichick would listen. Now, I'm not sure the Jaguars want a guy like Bill Belichick. They didn't take too kindly to Tom Coughlin, Shad Khan. I don't know if they want that type of coach, but I know the Dallas Cowboys do, and they're spiraling out a little bit out of control. Also, I think that's going to be where Bill ends up if he does indeed come back to coaching. I just think, Mike McDaniel, other than having a nice ultra perm like Mike Gundy does at Oklahoma State, I mean, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't, and I think, and Chris Greer, the GM of Miami, just sitting back and doing nothing, not going after, even if it's Jarrett Stidham or Zach Wilson or Tannehill, somebody get somebody out there for Miami. But hey, they can't lose enough for me.
Yeah, Pete, I'm with you, and if there's it's not good. And what happens is it's new wave. Everything's new wave, and we look at the game. The game is still the same. It's third down. It's third down conversions. It's throwing the ball on third down. It's run defense. We're back to the original, and not this analytics, which is sort of changing the game. You look at Philadelphia going for it, fourth and 4 from the 16-yard line. Kick the damn field goal. Get points on the board. I'm just
don't get Angel going. He's going to have a conniption. Angel, is big, huge Eagles fan, and he's as disgusted he can be with Sirianni and Jalen Hurts.
It's awful. No, you just said it. Coaching and quarterbacking in the NFL is, an all-time low. It's awful. And that's why Kansas City is the team to beat. They have not looked great, but their coaching and on both sides of the ball, their defensive coordinator, Spagnuolo, these guys know what they're doing, and they have a quarterback who knows how to win. He's pulling a Tom Brady. He's winning with less than mediocre receivers, and he doesn't have a running back, a real true quote unquote running back. So that I hate to say it, I know how people feel, especially up here in New England. I think Kansas City is the runaway choice, in my opinion, right now to win the Super Bowl. And I thought that at the beginning of the season. I think that even more right now, barring some injuries. So again, I'm really down on a lot. I'm down on the New England Patriots. Not only did I think they would be this bad, but I'm worried about the direction and how Gerard Mayo is going to handle this team under duress. And that's where Belichick was at his best. On to Cincinnati. Well, how's he going to handle it? I'm not really sure.
Yet, I think they're going to win on Sunday. Ugly, but I think they're going to win. So, and then...
No, they better beat.
They have to. Yeah. I mean, they have to save some sort of face here. I think they will. Miami is that bad right now, as bad as the Patriots are. Miami just mentally. I'm not sure. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. And then, are you headed to London by chance to cover the game with the Jaguars?
No, I'm not going to go to London. It's just it wasn't in the cards. If the Patriots were better and Jacksonville was better, that would have happened. In fact, today we had to confirm it with the Patriots, and it's not going to happen now. It's funny. I've been over there before, and I love it, and I wanted to do some pre stuff, but it wasn't going to work out. So this is not the time. We got right now. We look like we got a 4 or 5 win team, and we gotta preserve our money. We got a lot going on. We got the Celtics coming up soon. We got
Bruins down. Yeah, the Bruins on Tuesday night down here in Florida, so it's gonna be good. Well, better times are ahead because the Bruins and Celtics are going to be awesome. They're going to be very good teams this year, so should be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun to see. Look.
I lost transmission again with Billy. All right, Billy. I was going to cut it short, and not cut it short. We're going to wrap it up anyway as we are approaching 10. Angel, what's coming up? More repeat shows today on the network and everything back to full force tomorrow. I know Bill's trying to reconnect.
This is a big deal. This is a big deal about 2025. So.
All right, Billy. Great stuff as always. Have fun. Say hi to anybody for me down there, and I'll be watching. The game on Sunday as well at 1:00. Patriots and Miami Dolphins, which should be an absolute snooze fest. But nevertheless, Angel, I look past that into the fundamentals and seeing, maybe Gibson doesn't fumble as he's going to be the starter at running back. Well, we shall see. But anyway, it wouldn't be a Bill Burt report without him trying to be beaten the board. So did you make you feel any better about the Eagles? No?
I don't care for them, period. I don't. I want Eagles fans to understand I am frustrated. I am flabbergasted, bamboozled, and everything else that Stephen A. Smith would ever say. That's it.
Hoodwinked.
Team.
What's coming up on the network today?
Everybody's getting naked on the network. That's what they're all doing.
Nice.
Nice. Get some of the updated shows that have to rearrange to do a couple things for the schedule, and then hoping to add another one, a previous show that used to be on the network before. So I'm just waiting for them to send me the material so I can put it up there. So because of course football season gets crazy, and then the aftermath, which is the guys who do a great job covering the Bucks. Their show should be on soon, so I'm just trying to line up things as usual.
Sounds good, my man. Great stuff. Tomorrow, John Meter Perrell will join us, BC football play-by-play voice and a voice of ACC, on the ACC Network of basketball and baseball. And then Gabriel Morency will join me at the bottom of the hour at 9:30 tomorrow. He apologized for not being able to come on. He had some issues with his alarm clock and everything else, but he promises me he'll be back on Saturday, on Sunday, on Friday, I should say, tomorrow at 9:30. Thanks, everybody. Thanks to the guests today. Thanks to Bill Burt. Thanks to Trevor Harris. Angel Martinez, you the man. I'm back tomorrow at 7 a.m. for Football Friday. We'll have all my picks for you. Yes, enjoy your baseball and football tonight. Bucks and the over. That's my call. All right, kids, talk tomorrow at 7 a.m. See ya. Bye-bye.